What's up? What's up? What up? Are we crispy? Let's see. Yo, what's up, my family? What's going on? Let's get this up. Let's get this up. Let's see. I think, are we crispy? I think we're crispy right now. Yeah, I think we live. Yo, what up? Alright. So as we get this through. What's up, my family, my friends, my fellow gamers? Alright. Alright. Room's moving up. People jumping in. Notifications is going out. Alright, here we go. Here we go. As you start filling up the room, if you don't mind retweeting this out, let me send out another link. Here we go, here we go. Let me send out another link on Twitter. How's everybody's weekend? Everybody's chilling. Family's good. I hope everything's blessed for all you all. For you all. Got a couple of things to talk about. You know, we're gonna have the, podcast is back Tuesday. Last week couldn't do it because I was celebrating a friend's retirement, but I did a little live on Monday. Wasn't able to do something earlier in the week. A lot of stuff I had to, contend with. But like Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. And it's a day of rest. So why not chill with you all? You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? Oh, this is annoying. Through. There we go. Press this right here. Just want to touch on some topics. Just give my perspective. But shout out to everybody rocking with us. I want to say shout out to Briar Eels. What's up? Usis is up in here. Blackbeard was good. Ashley977. What up? Warlock Dog. What's good? Lathric Ahmed. How you doing? Object 2B was good. Javon. Yo, happy Sunday, my brother. Yo, Kings 1710. What's up? The Truth. What up? Carol Anchor. Hey, yo, what the hell? It's Monday, Uncle P. I wasn't prepared for this, guys. Is it Monday? Oh, it's maybe Monday for you. PlayStation Ecstasy. What up? Plus Ultra. Spider Silva. Dash Misi. Happy Sunday. Alright, to everybody joining in, thank you so much for showing up. We'll have a little conversation, in the chat. Hit the like button if you don't mind, and if possible, please retweet this out. This is a good point. PlayStation accolades. Y'all heard that Sony's taking that shit away? What do y'all think about that? I know that's not on the title, but why not? Why not start out with a light conversation, right? No. Before we start into gaming, I want to bring up once again an off topic. I want to bring up something off topic. All right. I think I'll start doing that. Not for the podcast, 60 frames don't like, but anything I do, let's say like on Thursday, Friday, weekend or something. Let's talk about some life. something life driven, right? Just a little, just, you know, to season up, you know, the start of the day. So let me share my screen right here. So I saw this on Twitter, right? And it caught my attention. Not this. Caught my attention. Go back right here. Boom. So apparently there's an Instagram account that a wife in particular creates cartoon about her issues with her husband, and it has many, I guess, many issues. Right, like this is one of the cartoons right here. One of the many differences between me and my husband. So this is her in her cartoon, how she describes it. So I think the account is called Mom Life Comics. So, oh look, the last ripe peach. I'll save it for the kids. They love peaches so much. And then this is how she describes her husband. Oh look, the last ripe peach. I'll use it as a special treat in my daily smoothie. Alright. And then this is more comic strips. Okay. It's right here. Mom Life Comics, Cape Cod. Before kids, after kids. I was always early. After kids, I'm always late. Before kids, I exercise for at least 1 hour every day. I'm excited if I exercise for 30 minutes 3 to 4 times per week. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning every day because I was a morning person. I sleep until my kids wake me up because I'm always exhausted. I wrote thank you notes for everything. I keep a long list of thank you notes to write but never get to them. I always had a pedicure. This. What else? Here's another one. Go back. Hold up. Go back. What the hell? Let's see. I'm gonna tell you. Oh yeah, let's click on this one. There we go. Why I actually say in response. What was this? In the corner cabinet, the same place they've always been. And that, my friend, is called self-control. Wait, hold up. I don't know the full image on that one. Man, this is really wonky right now. Okay. Let's see, go here. Alright, what you can do about parental preference, most of which I tried. Read tons of articles written by experts, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. What I want to say. They're in the same place they've been for the past 5 years. In the same place. I put them every time. I wash them, put them away. Presumably the same place you've gotten them from 100 times before. Unless, of course, you never got either one of our kids a bib in the past 5 years. So she's complaining to her husband because the husband's asking, where's the bib at? In the corner cabinet, same place they've always been. And that, my friends, called self-control. Prep for going on a family trip. Mom. Research buys plane tickets. Rent car at destination. Figures out car seat and stroller logistics. Makes packing list. Ships necessary bulky items to destination hedger. Figures out sleeping arrangement and needs a destination. Packs all kids' bag. Packs own bag. Packs snacks and drinks for all. Packs activities, toys, games, or car plane. Packs carry-ons. Charges all devices. Straighten house before leaving. Get everyone dressed, ready to go out the door. Dad. Packs own bag. Helps load the car. Has to poop right before time goes. Interesting. Interesting. So there's a lot of nuance to this, I have to say. Right? What do you guys think about that? Reunion. This is someone who doesn't talk to his or her partner. That is great point. That is absolutely a great point. Let me see if I can pop out the chat. It's absolutely the great point. Here's my thing with this whole. Here's my thing with this. Especially this one. This one actually this one right here. Got it. All right, this one right here that we're reading, to me, is one of two things. Either A, she married a shit husband, right? Or she doesn't really understand her husband. One of the two. One of the two could be true. He could be like selfish. He could be that guy. Oh, look, last ripe peach. I'll use a special treat in my daily smoothie, right? Could be that guy, right? Or, like me personally, if that's the last ripe peach in the house, I'm thinking to myself, I gotta get more peaches. That's my first thought. If there's the last of anything, you know, in my household, the last milk, the last cereal, the last peach, last eggs, last packet of chicken, the last anything, my first thought is we gotta get more food. You know what I'm saying? That's my first instant reaction. My reaction, in fact, and that's why I say, so since her perspective is, oh look, that last ripe peach, I'll save it for the kids, she's wrong. Because her thought should also be, oh shit, this is the last peach in the house. I gotta tell my husband, hey, we need more peaches. So she, and since this is her comic, that's what she's thinking. So I know that's her thoughts. The husband's thoughts, that's an assumption based on what she's writing. So she's assuming this is what her husband thinks. Now maybe she's right, because she knows her husband, right? Or maybe she's wrong, whatever. But I know her thought should have been, this is the last peach, we need to get more peaches. Hey, yo, babe, when you go to the market, get more peaches, or I gotta go to the market and get more peaches. So they both should be thinking that, right? Now the question is, who's the provider? Right? I seen, like Reunion mentioned, this is someone who doesn't talk to his or her partner. That's exactly what it is, right? Because I've seen partners, women, complain about, oh, husband, don't clean the house, or don't do this, don't do that, right? I seen that. And I seen that in the conversation. And I've been part of conversations for that. So then I throw out, and of course the men are going to defend the men, right? Because that's how, oh, you guys are mansplaining. But I just ask simple questions. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, you got some nice grass out there. Yeah. You cut that? Because it's hot. It's like 90 degrees out. Who's out there cutting the grass? When there's, things get messed up. The plumbing, leaks, oil change, and stuff like that. Who does all that? And who pays for all that? You know? Now, if both people are working, then, yeah, you got to split the chores. But again, let's say if you expect your husband... And here's the thing. Like, I was always a clean person, too. You know? I lived on my own. I had my own apartments before I got married and stuff. So, I could clean myself and stuff like that. So, I know how to do that, right? But if you're going to talk about dividing things equally because you both work, cool. But does that mean you also, when it's time for the oil change or when it's time to take the car to the mechanics for maintenance service, whatever, do you participate in that too? Or is that all on your husband? Do you at times also go out and mow the lawn, trim the hedges, power wash the house, do all that stuff? Or is that all on your husband as well? You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to divide everything equally, then you divide everything equally, right? I don't really do that in my household, right? Sure, you know, me and my wife, we split the chores, right? Based on, how would you say, most efficient way to do things. Like, she's not the one that's going to deal with the mechanics if any of our cars have issues. Because most likely they'll try to screw her over, you know. They say, oh, don't forget, you need to do this, you need to do this. Oh, and we have to add air, so you're going to have to pay air in the tire. You know, some weird shit, right? So, obviously, me dealing with the mechanics, or me dealing with the maintenance of the house, me dealing with contract. Like, right now, we're renovating the house, you know, to redo some stuff, put in rugs, paint the walls. I dealt with all that. I'm calling the construction guys, right? I say, hey, we need to fix this. I want this added. She ain't dealing with none of that. The money it costs to pay the contractors and dealing with all that, she ain't dealing with all that, right? Because it's to my advantage, since I know more about house improvements and stuff like that. It's advantageous for me to deal with that. But as far as food shopping, it's advantageous for her to say, hey, this is what we need in the house, because she knows what I like. But more importantly, she's the primary cooker. She cooks. She's the one that cooks mostly. If I cook, it's very simple stuff. I make breakfast and I hit the grill. It doesn't take much. I hit the grill, make breakfast. I could bake some stuff, but not as advanced as she has. She needs all the seasonings, all this other shit, right? If she leaves up to me to pick everything, I won't be able to pick all the things that she needs to put in the cabinet. You know, she knows all that, so it's advantageous for her to be in charge of, these are all the things we need, right? But then when the food shopping happens, she doesn't go by herself because it's a lot of bags, and she ain't carrying all that bags. She ain't doing it. So now I go with her because it ends up me carrying all that stuff. I'm that one dude that's has 30 bags on each hand. I'm that dude, and she just has the brown bag with the bread and eggs in it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a balance between of what's como se dice, advantageous family for the school stuff. I didn't say when we were raising our daughter, right? My daughter's older, she's an adult now, but when she was kids, my wife was the one wake her up in the morning, get her ready for school, because I was already gone for work. At the time my wife wasn't working. She's not working out, but at the time she wasn't working, so she was able to do that. And every day she had to, get my daughter ready, get our daughter ready, do all that stuff, right? There was no days I did that, right? But what was my part in raising our daughter? My part was ensuring that Manda did, follow, my wife's instructions, my mother's instructions. I was very involved in her school, and I was very involved in the discipline. So I was the disciplinary guy because it was advantageous. Because when my wife tried to discipline daughter, daughter-mother dynamics is very weird, right? And then they become kitty-catty. Becomes a cat fight, My wife would say something. It's like, it's the daughter. And I'm like, but I say it. My daughter's like, that's it. Like, there's no argument. There's no discussion, right? So that was the balance and dynamic we had, So ultimately, it's conversation between the two partners, But instead, she chose to make these comics. Maybe this is all because the internet's weird, right? Internet's all about trying to use social media to gain popularity, create a platform, chase clout, and make money for a lot of people, right? So the husband and wife might be in on this. This might all be fake, and they're just creating scenarios that people can relate to, and that's just how. Who knows and stuff. But I think ultimately, for all of you, many of you have families. Many of you will one day have a family. Just make sure you talk to your spouse. It's a team effort, and make the decisions that is advantageous. Not everything has to be a 50-50 split. In my opinion, that doesn't work. 50-50 split doesn't work. What works is which partner can do the task and is most advantageous for the family. And that's how we did it. What's most advantageous for this family was me dealing with contractors, do the hard physical labor, discipline the daughter, check on the schoolwork, be the primary breadwinner, deal with the cars, loans, purchasing, all that stuff. My wife did all the other stuff, like, take care of the house, take care of the home, daily activities and stuff like that, We found our strengths, and instead of just doing arbitrary 50-50 split, no, what task can we do that we can do it at his best effort, Did Java lose his account? I don't think he lost it. I think he just shut it down to take a break. I think he's busy at work, so I don't think he shut it down. I think he's doing an important project, and he just unplugged for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, now that we got the little chit chat to the side, right? Let's talk about gaming, right? Let me get this out. Let's do our thing right here. But first, let me look at something. Oh, Luca. Luca says, "What's going on with the Switch? Ooh, that's gonna be the next topic. But let me reply to her. Oh man, let me do it here. Oh. All right. All right. So here we go. So now that I caught up. Hi. So the beta come out for the upcoming updates for the PlayStation 5 UI software, whatever. And one of the updates is 1440p support now for, 1440p, monitors, TVs, whatever. So that was one of the things, 1440p support, for gamers that play on 1440p sets, right? So as people started pushing, people who are part of the beta, and they seen it, and they taking screenshots, there's people having issues with that, right? Saying some funny stuff. I've seen already multiple tweets and stuff saying, oh, PlayStation's copying off of Xbox because Xbox had 1440p first. And I'm thinking, Microsoft owns 1440p resolution? Like, no one else can use that resolution or something? So, like, it's a resolution, right? And if there was a demand for people saying, hey, I play on a dedicated 1440p monitor, Sony, can you provide this support for this specific resolution? How is that a Microsoft thing? So let's say if Xbox never existed and the PS5 comes out and people are telling Sony, hey, we need 1440p support because I have displays, monitors, great monitors that do 1440p. Sony's going to say, well, yeah, we're not doing that. They're just going to be like, nope. Why would we want our console to be able to be played at more, accessible to more monitors and TV sets and panel sets? Why would we do a thing like that? Why would we try to, cater, or not even cater, because catering means why wouldn't they expand to an audience that plays on 1440p monitors that are willing to buy a PS5 and want to play a PS5 on their monitors? Yeah, sure. I guess Sony would have never made that decision because Xbox not around. Like, come on, let's stop the nonsense. So what is the big deal? Like, how is that an issue that there's consistent improvements throughout the lifespan of the PS5? And I'm thinking there's no way. I mean, I know Xbox guys don't have games this year, so they're upset on a lot of things. But this was a stupid thing to really go after. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I don't get it. Like, this is not even a good console war topic. Like, you can't really console war a topic of a product getting better doing more things over the life. Like that, I don't get it. So I'm thinking, what am I missing here? And then it dawned on me. I was like, oh, I see what's going on. It took me a minute, you know. I was playing my PlayStation, playing a little bit, you know. And then I'm thinking, oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. This is what's happening. But in order, it's going to take a minute for me to explain. Because I have to show you the whole picture. You know, we got to look at the whole picture. It's not just one little thing. We got to look at it. We got to go back to launch November 2020. That's how this makes sense, right? When we talk about the launch of 2020, from that point to today, then you understand what's happening. So, November 2020, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series platform launches. There was lots of conversations previous to that on expectations, what's going to do, games, all that stuff. But all of that was just talk. From January 2020 to October 2020 was all talks, assumptions, and rumors. And we saw how ridiculous that got. Launch day comes. It is what it is. That's it. Shout out to Stuart Stokes. He says, I already seen tweets saying Sony's capping the resolution is 1440p because PS5 is too weak for 4K. Oh my god, bro. How? Please tell me they're not saying that when we already have 4K games. Right? Anyway. So let's go back to November. So consoles launch, they are who they are. There's no more talk. Oh, you in the voice chat? Alright, no doubt, bro. I see you in the room. I'm gonna get you up. I'm gonna hit you up on your view on this. Alright. The talk is over. Now, of course, people are gonna still talk because they're gonna try to change the perspective of things are. Nah, the consoles are the way they are. So let's talk about the PlayStation. PlayStation launched, PS5 launched with some pros, and it launched with some cons. So what were the pros? Well, the pros were more game-centric pros. Launch with a great launch lineup to where it started that conversation of, is this one of the greatest launch lineups in gaming? Some saw it greatest launch lineup in PlayStation gaming. However you want to look at it, the conversation was happening because the launch lineup had a really good overall balance of third party and first party, right? With Miles Morales heading up the charge. Then as time progressed, got Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, beautiful game. Got a new IP, Returnal. And then Sony kept going with partnerships like Sifu. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, Forbidden West came out, beautiful. GT7, we're about to get God of War. So as far as the games aspect, Sony hit it every year. 2020 when it launched, 2021, 2022. It was just constantly doing its thing. As far as its performance, it actually the trash talking of PS5 actually benefited the result. Because before the PS5 launch, because of the fanboys and the Xbox communities and sense of need to try to protect Microsoft, created the biggest bullshit that you ever seen. 40% performance difference. Oh, I heard rumors Capcom's having issues running the game at 1080p 60 for Resident Evil 8. Remember that trash? Yo, it was bad. They literally tried to make the PlayStation 5 seem like that is just a 1440p console, similar to the PS4 Pro. And that if it did 4K, it would be dynamic 4K at 30 frames, while the Xbox would be native 4K lock 60. Even Aaron Greenberg says that 60 is going to be the default standard. So you saw all that stuff. Thank you, Trey. Kana, Demon Souls. More titles on there. So all that thing with the performance, right, set an expectation where so many people thought that the PS5 was not going to be a true next generation console. RDNA 1.5, 9.2 T-flops. It was a hard narrative that got pushed. But that BS narrative that took the stage actually benefited PlayStation. Because when the console came out, people saw the performance. And they're like, oh, snap. This thing does 60 frames. It does native 4K. It has performance mode. Right? And then you add what the first-party developers did with their games, like ray tracing at 60 frames, ray tracing performance mode. And then they did an update where you got games running at 4K 40 at 120 hertz. When you activate 120 hertz, people saw these amazing performance, amazing graphics. They're like, yo, like, especially at $400, if you got the all digital for $400, this is a great premium device. Right? The cons was more the quality of life. People call it quality of life, features, however you want to call it. I think quality of life is a good term. It didn't launch with VR. It didn't launch with 1440p. It didn't have auto low latency mode for all sets, if any sets at all. The new UI was missing a lot of things to make it easier to navigate through all your games library. PS Now and PS Plus was separate. It's not what we have now. At the time, it was two separate services. And a lot of people wasn't really interested in PS Now. In fact, a lot of people didn't even know much about PS Now. Most people still thought it was just a streaming subscription service. So there was a lot of quality of life issues that the PS5 launched. What up, my brother, Persona? The Dynamic Duo. What's Up PlayStation Podcast every Saturday. Love that show. If you're a PlayStation gamer, you wrong if you don't watch that podcast. I'm just saying. It is. I said what I said. Because there was quality of life stuff. And there's still stuff, right? But over time, with updates, they updated the store and the UI to make it easier to pick your games, sort through your library. They added VRR. And not only did they add VR, they showed some potential capabilities you can do. For example, with Spider-Man Miles Morales, with VRR and HDMI 2.1, 120 hertz combined, they made it to where Miles Morales now has unlocked frame rates. So now the game unlocked goes beyond 30 and 40 lock frames. It goes into the upper 50s. And obviously, with VRR, you don't get the screen tear. So you can play Miles Morales right now at the upper 50 frames at native 4K fidelity. Or if you choose performance mode, you're talking 100 frames with ray tracing performance. 100 frames, 100 FPS, 90 up to 100 with ray tracing. Strictly, what's good, my brother? Yo, you survived. You survived the Square Enix onslaught. Don't I warn you, man. Don't go after Square Enix. Not with PlayStation Nation, man. They'll come after you. Right? Sony added the ability for auto low latency mode across all TVs. And now they added 1440p support for those that wanted it. So what's happening since launch is Sony's strength was all about the games. So they focus on that first. And they put all their effort. And you can see the benefits of that. How they're dealing with, the launch. How they provide great launch. How they provide great content. And how they're dealing with third party. Their one weakness area was the quality of life. You saw they made rapid improvements. They merged PS Now and PS Plus into this PS Plus 3-tier service. And you choose the PS Plus experience you want. They even created a middle ground, which is PS Plus. There's Essential, there's Premium, and there's Extra. So the Extra is kind of like... the middle ground, where it's not everything PS Plus. Like if you just want PS4, PS5 games, then you only pay $90 a year. So it's a good in between. Like if you don't want to deal with PS3 gen games or PS2 games, you just want the current stuff, and you have a middle ground to play with. So they fixed that too and provided it for those. So they fixed some stuff. So a lot of the narratives and negativity behind the PlayStation 5, you guys don't got VR, you don't got 1440p, you don't got auto low latency mode, these are great quality of life features, started whittling away. Low latency mode got added, VR got added, and now 1440p. Or 1440p is about it. So all that's gone. You've seen the improvements in the added features and capabilities, while at the same time still doing what's most important for PlayStation 5, or really for any game console, the games. That's the most important part. Right? Now let's look at Xbox. November. Again, it launched with pros and it launched with cons. Let's talk about the pros. It launched with these quality of life features. It had VRR, have 1440p support, Dolby Vision, you know, Dolby Audio, all that stuff. My brother Ruham, what's good, my brother? Thank you for rocking out. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. So you got that right. Got great backwards compatibility. Right from the start. Upgrades to a lot of old games. Some games they had to lower the resolution to get to 120 frames, but other games just boosted up the frames. So there's a lot of quality of life stuff that the Xbox launched with, right? The cons was twofold. Number one, the games. They didn't have any. It was primarily third-party multiplats and old games from the Xbox One. You know, play some old games with upgraded graphics. And it was like that for a while. Up until it got like Flight Simulator. And then it came out with Forza and then Halo. But the Halo community can tell you more about Halo and how its direction is going better than I ever could, right? That's pretty much it. You see in 2022, Microsoft punted into the stands. Like, they got nothing. They planned for nothing in 2022. With Starfield and Redfall and Stalker being delayed until 2023, it completely obliterated Xbox Series platforms from the gaming standpoint, from a first party. As terms of the power, this is where it hurt Xbox. Because they overhyped the power so much, many people, not even many people, we know the community, the Xbox community, promised something that the Xbox Series S was just simply not going to do. Not to the level that they anticipated. So I think that kind of hurt the brand. At least among the hardcore. The casuals, everybody else probably wasn't even aware. But among the hardcore, they realized this console's not as powerful as predicted. Some accepted its fate and they moved on. Others started a new movement. Gotta wait for the tools. So then you had the tool groups. You had tool time. You had the tool time group now. They're just waiting for that one day. The tools. They're waiting for the Messiah to return with the 7 trumpets and the 7 seals are broken. You know, unbelievable. They're waiting for the revelations to come true. Unbelievable. And as far as the quality of life that they already had, the quality of life Microsoft already had, primarily low latency mode, especially VRR, right? They haven't done much with it. Because you saw when Sony implemented VRR, they did something extra with it. It wasn't just simply, hey, we have VRR, so that way the games that are running sub 60 you could prevent screen tearing and smooth out the experience. No, they say, hey, let's try to capitalize on, the 120 hertz, HDMI 2.1, compliancy, and VR, and let's see if we could do some things. And that's where unlock frame rates for Spider-Man. They're doing it for Horizon Forbidden West. They did it for Rift Apart. Sony's showing potential capabilities that these consoles have with VR and HDMI 2.1. Microsoft had VR and HDMI 2.1. It hasn't attempted any of this. Like, for example, we got Forza Horizon 5 at its native or fidelity mode is 4K 30, and they got a performance mode. But they haven't attempted with VRR to say, you know what? We're going to do what Sony did. We got HDMI 2.1. We got VR. We're going to unlock the frame rates of Forza Horizon and see if we could get this game in its fidelity mode at 55 plus-ish frame rates. They haven't tried that. So while they been had the quality of life features, they haven't done much with it. They just let it stagnate and just let it be, right? Shout out to Strictly. He says, shout out. Hold on. My screen's free. Here we go. Shout out to my boy Strick. He says, shout out to P-Rock. Man, though, but man, I always admire your knowledge in this space and as a person. Just wanted to shoot you some love and respect, brother. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, my brother, man. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad I could participate in the community, and drop some knowledge. Or at least drop some perspective. But shout out to you guys too, man. Because you guys do the Lord's work out there. So, here's the thing. So, as far as quality of life features for Xbox, other than Game Pass is a quality of life, I guess, value gaming. They've done a good job with that in terms of adding more content. They have been slipping with their promise of first party day one. They haven't done much of that. But they did get as much games as possible. I think one of the biggest things they've done, and this is just facts, is getting MLB The Show 2 years in a row on Game Pass. You can't argue with that. That's a $70 PS5 game, and it's on Game Pass. There's just no way around it. PlayStation Asia just got to take the L on that. That's just how it is. The same exact game you're playing on PS5, they're playing as part of their Game Pass subscription, but it's not part of for those who choose premium, it's not part of your premium subscription. So that's like the one individual game where the whole, we can't put our games day one on a service because it will diminish the quality. I don't know how they're gonna finagle that reason with MLB The Show. I don't know how, because it's day one on a subscription service. So that one game doesn't really get that reasoning behind it. It's just not possible. You can't say, unless they're admitting that MLB The Show's about to go to shit, unless that's what they're saying. But other than Game Pass, not much of improvement. Like, the quality of life is the same. The VR, nothing. They didn't do anything advantageous to really bring something ahead. And the games, they definitely are hurting. In fact, it seems like things are getting worse. Now, eventually, yes, Xbox Series platform, Xbox will bring the games. Because they do have these games in development, and they have to come out at some point. Like, I can't see going a whole generation and none of these studios push out anything. I just don't see that. So at a certain point, whether it's 2023, 2024, 2025, you're going to see a boatload of games. And every year that games don't come out is going to be a bigger year for the year after, right? So like all the games that didn't really come out for 2021, 2022, now they're 2023, 2024. If Microsoft still doesn't release games in 2023, now that's even more games for 2024. You see what I'm saying? Every year that you delay, it just gets added onto the pile. And at a certain point, you're just going to have one huge thing of things. So eventually it's got to come out. Right? So now, why did I bring up both? Because I got to tie this to the beginning of the conversation on why Xbox fanboys really are upset with 1440p. It's simply because as these consoles are maturing and month after month they're out on the market, one brand is actually fixing their cons that they had at launch. And we see it, and it's less negative talking narratives. So when Sony implemented VR, that's a narrative that died. Auto low latency mode, narrative that died. And now 1440p, narrative that died. You see what I'm saying? The narrative, Sony's checking the box, fixing the discrepancies that they launch with. But on the flip side with Xbox, Microsoft is not fixing their narratives. They're not fixing the games narrative. They're not fixing the first party narrative. Where are the great games? Where are the big blockbuster titles? They're not doing it. It is still prevalent. And it's still going to be prevalent where today's the last day in July. August 1st is tomorrow. Guess what? August 1st, we're going to wake up to an Xbox console with no first party games. No big AAAs. September's going to come. Still no big AAAs. October's going to come. Still no big AAAs. November's going to come. Still no big AAAs. December's going to come. Finish. Still no big AAAs. And then here's the worst part. January's going to come, a whole new year, and we're still not going to know nothing. Because they didn't announce that they have a big AAA launching in January. There's no AAA first party announcement for January. So January, we're going to kick off the year with wondering, when are we going to see these games? And who knows, March, April, June, July, like when is these things going to happen? So while the PlayStation 5 platform is chopping out all these narratives, right? And the reality is, Sony's not doing it because of the console war. They're not doing it to be like, oh, we got to make sure, we don't get these Xbox fanboys talking about. No, they're doing it because they got to improve quality of life for the customers. So obviously they're doing the VR. These are all gaming technologies that are becoming standard. So they're just implementing it. But in the context of podcast, Twitter, whatever, there's less and less shit to talk about when it comes to PlayStation. It's just being scratched off the list. I think this is why the $70 conversation is so big, because that's really the only thing you got. The $70 combo. That's really, for a lot of people, that still has issues. And I think that's why that combo is becoming bigger and bigger, because Fanboys lost so many talking points. It's being scratched off the list. 1440p, VR, auto low latency mode. Scratch. What's left? It's definitely not games. Can't go out PlayStation 5 when it comes to the games. That shit ain't happening. Hell, they about to boycott Square Enix, because PlayStation 5 is getting exclusives from them or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, on the Xbox, the very issue that started out this gen, hell, the issue that really began last gen, but we're going to ignore last gen. We're just going to go with kicking off this generation, November 2020. And here we are, the last day of July of 2022, and it's no different. It's just, hell, it almost seems worse. You see what I'm saying? And that's getting to them. So I think they got upset more at the fact that, damn, now we can't talk shit about 1440p. And what's funny, a lot of guys that talk shit about 1440p didn't even play on 1440p. They were playing on 4K TVs. Alright. Hey, yo, Jay, are you still here? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Alright, bro. So what you think about that? I know I was a little long-winded. But what you think about this 1440p? Sony finally doing it. And,
you're muted, by the way.
And why are people reacting? Why some people? Well, we know who's reacting negatively. Why do they even care to react negatively? You hear me? Oh,
right,
shit. Oh, never mind. I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm muted. I'm sorry. I'm muted.
Yeah, you were muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. Yeah. So
I was trying to. Yeah, go ahead. So, I mean, it's just, you basically hit all the bullet points. Actually, hold on. I had the wrong microphone. Fuck. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you hit all the little bullet points on, the whole outrage is more about just, trying to find ways to make Xbox look good, and those like features that kept coming out are less talking points for them to bring up. And now, like you said, they're bringing up a lot the fact that $70 games are like a problem or something like that. Even though Xbox got $70 games, might not be from first party, but it's still in the platform, you know. And some people buy those. Yeah. But what you said was really interesting. How they're both similar consoles, right, spec wise, but they both launched drastically different. Mm-hmm. One launched with like most of the features from PS4. Lacking the RDNA 2 features, but launched with a bunch of games, whereas the Xbox was the other way around. It launched with a ton of features and a ton of like goodies for older games, but not really a lot of first-party games, aside from Forza and Halo, and Flight Simulator, which is mostly a PC game that just got ported because it was capable of running it. No. But what I'm mostly like, something that you said that struck me, because I was like, damn, this is going to be interesting next year, is that Redfall and Starfield were supposed to come out this year, right? Yeah. And they got moved to next year. What games? I haven't kept up with Xbox ever since their like shitty events that they did this year, but what games were they planning to release in 2023 that are now going to be releasing with Starfield and Redfall 2, you know? Like, do we really know what first-party games they were releasing in next year if Redfall and Starfield released this year? Does anybody know?
That's a good point, because technically speaking, Redfall, Stalker, and Starfield were supposed to be 2022 games, and then they should have their 2023, lineup.
Yeah, right? So what's the lineup for that? Yeah, what games are we getting?
I think maybe Forza. The actual motorsport.
I can see Forza.
But the question is this: if 2023 ends up being Forza, let's say that gets on time, Stalker, Starfield, and Redfall, and that's it, which is fine, that would have meant that 2023 would have been dry then.
Exactly.
Because if 2023's lineup is primarily 2022, then wait a minute, then 2023, because technically this delay should augment their planned 2023 titles. So it should just be 2023 should just be a huge big year for Xbox.
If they had like 2-3 games coming out next year from their first party, someone said State of Decay 3. Listen, State of Decay 3 is not even in production, dude. When they announced that game or they showcased it on the E3 or whatever the hell it was, the studio behind it had to put something together because Xbox was like, hey, show this, right? Plenty of people that follow religiously State of Decay news and are like YouTubers that focus on that game, they know about this shit, and they've all said this is not a the developer said it's not even being in production yet. It's still in pre-production. They don't even know what they're gonna do with the game. State of Decay 2 is getting updates still, so there's no State of Decay coming not anytime soon.
Anyways, there's some games I don't think Perfect Dark is coming anytime soon. I don't think Fable is coming out. I think those are 2025 games.
So next year, I'm gonna play Redfall. I'm gonna try it out. I got Game Pass till 2025. I'm gonna try Redfall. I'm gonna try Starfield. I'm gonna try Stalker. But I'm more curious on what are the games that we don't know yet that are gonna come out next year, if they're gonna come out next year. Because if all we get is these games, these 2022 games, then like you said, the 2023 was gonna be dry as well. So what's going on?
Yeah. That's a good point. Shout out to my sister from another mister. She said, F you ponies. She ain't trying to hear. She was one of those PlayStation can't do 1440p. Ha. And it made her feel good because she would just log off of Twitter and let, the jealousy and anger commands. Nah, she's not like that. She said, also join the wave, my brother. Check out that StreamYard because Discord technical difficulties be the worst. So that's what we doing. Everybody merging StreamYard. They're chilling with the Yard Boys. Oh shit!
First it was Skype, now Discord. Yeah, now
Skype. I used to love Google Hangouts, man. God, I miss Google Hangouts. It made it all simple. Those were the days.
I feel like it ran its course because when it was popping on YouTube, it was when all of the roasting and back-to-back arguments, like that was like lit, mid-gen last.
The Hangout was the battleground, boy. Oh my god,
that died quick.
There's some videos. I had some videos in the archive that I privatized, cause in my opinion, if people listen to what happened in those hangouts now, oh my god, there'll be cancel culture. They will shut my shit down. So Oh my god, some of the shit that was said was crazy. I'm like, I privatized a lot of videos because some shits I'm like, holy cow. Like, the shit we did in 2016, 17, maybe even 18 will not fly today. It would just,
when next gen would host the debate, bro. Oh my god.
Man, it was crazy. It was just crazy, right? But yeah, shout out to Luca.
But I'm glad that I know there's another super chat, by the way.
Oh yeah. So Andrew Wilkins says Redfall Starfield look as low quality as Gears 4 and 5 and Halo Infinite. So what's the point of anyone ever playing? Oh man, he said what's the point of, oh man, don't do this, Andrew. Andrew's not playing. He's throwing shots at Xbox. I'm gonna be honest. I like the Bethesda RPGs. I don't really care. I mean, Wolfenstein was good. I didn't really care about Doom. What's their horror game?
Evil Within.
Evil Within was decent. It was alright.
Evil Within 1 was like more horror. Evil Within 2 was more action.
Yeah, they did change up the formula a little bit, but it controlled better. I felt like the first one felt a bit wonky, but primarily I am a fan of Fallout. I'm a fan of Elder Scrolls. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of Starfield. I just don't know much about it. But if it's Fallout in space, it still could be fun. So I'm still a big fan of those games. I played Elder Scrolls Online, so I'm not going to cap. The only game I didn't play was Fallout 76. It got too many negative reviews at the time. I know it's better, but I'm just not in the mood to invest.
Well, okay, so let me ask you, what is it that you like about Fallout?
So
what's the thing that...
So what,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what I like about... So it's really the same thing with Elder Scrolls. I just like the storyline and how it plays out and you involved in it. I just like their storylines. I like completing the missions. I like doing the quests. I like their skill tree.
Do you like the branching paths? Do you like that the single player games actually change what you do?
Yes, so I do like that stuff.
Okay,
I love that. That's outcomes. One thing I love.
That's one thing that Fallout doesn't do. That.
Huh? Fallout what?
Fallout 76, 76 doesn't do that because it's online. You can't have like drastic thing happen. Like the pros on that game is like seeing other people. Yo, what's up? You like you trade with people sometimes. The exploration, in my opinion, has the best Fallout map yet.
Okay.
Floor 3 and New Vegas. It's like absolutely beautiful. It has like 4 biomes or 5. And the most that you're gonna get similar wise from the single player games is the exploration. Now there's NPCs and the world building. You go into a house and it's people dead, and you're like, what happened here? And you read a note. Oh, I'm sorry, daughter, that I had to do this. And you're like, what the fuck?
Those things. I like those little side stories. Yeah. So that's what I like about Fallout. I like just completing the storyline, building my character, and shaping them the way I want. The combat is nothing to brag about, but it's fun. I love just becoming a god and blowing people away. Same thing with Elder Scrolls. And I just love doing the different storylines and just see how it all plays out. So
yeah, in Skyrim, when you're like walking and then like, oh, the sun is hurting you, you're like, what's going on? And it's because you're turning into a vampire.
Yeah, so I love that. So I love this. So they all have that in common. Oblivion, I beat in all the DLC. I beat Skyrim, all the DLC. New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I really enjoy all those games. So it's just I'm into that. So hopefully Starfield in space is similar, and I will enjoy it too.
Yeah. Fallout 4 was a hype though. Fallout 4 is what got me to got a PS4. Because I'm like, this should not come to PS3? All right, I'm buying a PS4 then.
Oh yeah.
That's a game.
Okay. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins. He said Microsoft reported increase in Game Pass subs while first and third party game engagement monetization decrease. Them saying GP brings more game sales is another lie. Oh yeah, I think so. So here's the thing. So GP bringing in more game sales, I don't think they're lying, but they're talking about a different metric. I think GP is probably bringing in more game sales for like the indies that nobody will give a shit about. So like an indie that would probably only sell 1,000 copies, some people might play it and be like, oh, I really like this game, I want to own it. Now it sells 2,000 copies. Well, technically that's an increase. But I don't think it actually increased big AAA sales. If anything, people are probably happy that they don't have to pay $60 for AAA games that come in on Game Pass. So
there's so many.
So I think like the big AAAs, it's like, for example, why isn't Elden Ring day one on Game Pass? I don't think some software is interested in losing day one sales. So shit like that. So.
You see on Twitter, basically with any AAA game that's coming out, you see like about 10 tweets of random people saying, "Is it coming to Game Pass?"
Because they don't want to buy it. They want to play it, but they don't want to buy it. So I don't think so. When it comes, so like same thing with HOT. So when Starfield got delayed, right, in Redfall, the first thing almost, and I would say almost every Xbox gamer that plays on Game Pass, they all had the same mindset. Well, then Microsoft, they gotta get Hogwarts Legacy, or they gotta get Call of Duty. They literally, they gotta get Gotham Arkham Knights. Like almost all of them repeat it on their podcast, on Twitter. Hey, you gotta put Gotham Knights, Hogwarts, or Call of Duty on Game Pass Day One. Like, wait a minute. If you want to play those games, just buy it and play it. Like, what does Game Pass have to do with? But that's the attitude. They are quick.
I like that you bring that up because remember last time you had a stream, you talked about what Aaron Greenberg apparently said about Game Pass users.
Yeah,
like that puts that comes full circle, bro. It comes full circle. Yeah. Like they don't give a shit what game it is. Just put it on Game Pass and we're good, bro. It's all good. Like
you know, put it on there, right? So there is a culture being built on not to buy games, right? And
I hate that.
And I'll say this. I'm not gonna say I hate it or like it, because I really don't have an opinion on it, right? The way I see it, if that's how you want your platform to be, then it's whatever. What I don't like is they're trying to make the PlayStation platform or even Nintendo platform to be the same thing. And that's where I'm like, whoa, hold on. If you like what you like on Xbox, hey, you have that option, you have that choice, buy your Xbox, enjoy that over there. Over here, it's not about whether or not I want to buy or play a game. It's getting the quality. I want the company to focus as the quality of the game and stuff like that, right? So if your thing is value, if your thing is you don't want to pay $60 for games, you want to access a huge library of games, hey, that's what Xbox is for. That's that's the identity Microsoft created for Xbox. You got it. There you go. Don't bring that trash over to PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want just random bullshit to appear and think Sony's satisfying my needs. Nah, son.
The problem is Game Pass isn't really the problem in gaming. People say Game Pass is cancer. It's not really Game Pass that's causing issues. It's just people that either love to be really cheap, which is fine. If you want to be a cheapo, that's all good. I'm cheapo sometimes. But also people that like to manifest things in their head. Like that guy, you saw that guy complaining about playing Halo for $1 and he's like, I gotta pay 10 times more. Like,
that was ridiculous.
That
is weird. That was weird.
It is $10, dude.
That is weird. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was just weird. And then he tried to describe it as, I'm paying 10 times as much just for co-op. I'm like, bro, like what is you talking about? Like, that's $10.
There are certain Xbox accounts that make tweets about games on Game Pass, and they have like green circles saying all the features the game has. And one of those features, it says free on Game Pass. It's not free, dude. Stop pushing this thing, because more and more gamers are gonna be like, oh, free on Game Pass, oh, free. Like, no, man, you gotta buy the game, dude.
Yeah, you're paying $15 a month every month consistently, whether you play the game or not, whether you use Game Pass or not. That check is clearing every month, right? And I don't treat games, my hobby of gaming, the same, because the number one retort that I get back, also, do you buy all your movies? I'm like, nope. Also, what's the difference? You see me have a podcast talking about movies. You see me spend all day talking about movies, how they're made, what performance, or what I expect. You hardly about music. Music. You hardly see me talk about that stuff, because to me that's just casual experiences. I see whatever when it comes to Netflix, it's whatever. I don't care. Boom. Whatever happens on Hulu, my wife watches it. It's really nothing. Like movies and music isn't my number one hobby. They're just not. My number one hobby is gaming, so I have a bigger expectation of my gaming hobby as compared to watching movies and stuff like that. So I don't really care. Point. Yeah, I don't really care. I never and I grew up, and when you think about it, right? When you grown up, especially if you've been gaming for a long time, when you I grown up just watching movies off of TVs or cable subscriptions. I never really ever owned movies, right? That wasn't a thing. But gaming was always you always bought games, and you always either rented movies or you watched it on TV or you watched it on cable. It was two separate metrics, right? But again, even when I was young, I hold gaming to a higher standard on what I really wanted to play and what I wanted to enjoy. Movies was just, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I move the hell on. Don't really care. I don't really care who makes the movie. I don't really care about Sony Studios versus Marvel versus DC. I don't really care about that. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't really care about having a copy in my shelf or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So
like I was saying, you have a good point. You have a good point on saying that about how certain people are more in a hardcore in the sense when it comes to movies or when it comes to
the
music.
movie enthusiasts,
You know?
yes, those guys.
So
have that.
there's people that are gonna buy movies, Blu-ray, DVD, HD, whatever the fuck, right? Because that's what they like.
Yep.
Right, so they're hardcore on one thing, but they're casual on others. So let's say there's someone that is really into movies and they buy all that shit, but they're not really into gaming, but they got Game Pass, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." But if you're out here on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Reddit, talking this shit, being a fanboy or whatever, and you're not buying games, and you're saying that they're too expensive, then get out of gaming, bro. Like, go get a job or something. Because if you're going to be enthusiast level when it comes to gaming, buying games and whatnot, but you're not doing that, you're complaining that your main hobby is too expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yeah, because like you said, for the movie enthusiasts, the hobby could be very expensive. Buying those Blu-rays, getting the sound, 7.1 surround sound, having that collection in order. They talk about it and all that stuff. But when it comes to games, they just don't care about games. So yeah, Game Pass, or they might not even play it at all, right? But what's funny is this, though. I will say this. This is the difference between movie enthusiasts and gamers. So let's say if you're a movie enthusiast, and let's say you bought your movie collection in Blu-ray. Now you have, over the last couple of years, you had UHD Blu-ray. Do you get a free upgrade just because you own the Blu-ray copy?
No, man, but like a movie's 5 hours, you just watch it. It's not the same as gaming, dude. What's going on?
No, but I'm saying, think about it. Do those movie enthusiasts, do they get a free UHD upgrade with all the movies they bought? If they want to watch it in 4K UHD? No, they don't. They have to rebuy those movies if they want to. So let's say they bought a collection and it's Blu-ray 1080p, and now they got a 4K Blu-ray player. If they want that movie in 4K Blu-ray at its best, you got to rebuy it. But none of them complain about, oh, man, we don't get a free upgrade or whatever. If you go to Amazon and then you rent, like you could go to, let's say, Amazon Prime, and they have rentals. The UHD version is more expensive than the 1080p version. You don't rent one movie and you get to choose which one you want. No, you have to choose which one you want to see. If you want to watch the UHD version of that movie, it's like $1 extra. I mean, it's only $1, but it's still a higher price. Netflix, they have the 4K subscription plan. That is not the same as the 1080p subscription plan. You have to pay a higher monthly premium every month if you want to access some of the 4K versions. Because not every show is in 4K. It's only the ones that are. But the ones that are, if you want to access it, you got to pay more money. So the movie guys understand that. None of them are up in an uproar about upgrading or rebuying movies if they want it or paying the extra money for 4K. But some of the gamers, I don't know where they got this whole thing, Now, I understand some companies are doing it out of, being nice or something for some upgrades and stuff like that. But for the most part, some people got to pay the price. It's just weird and stuff like that for gaming, right?
So what if some of these Xbots that complain about $70 games bought Call of Duty Cold War for their Xbox series, their Xbox One console, because it has 3 versions. It has the last gen, the cross gen, and the next gen version. Yeah. So they bought the last gen version for $60 because they had a last gen console. Now they got a Series S or X.
They don't get a free upgrade.
No, they're stuck with the old game, or they gotta buy the game again.
Yeah,
the cross-gen version to get the upgrade.
Yeah,
where's the complaint with that? Because it's gonna be a Microsoft studio. What's complaint?
Yeah, because Call of Duty don't give a free upgrade.
No,
you got to pay $10 upgrade to upgrade it to the Xbox Series X. Yeah, that's a good point and stuff. But it's just But ultimately, we'll end off this segment is just simply, since launch, PlayStation has overall done a better job of not just launching, but also improving the discrepancies. Xbox, you still gotta wait. The issues that they have at launch is still prevalent right now, which is the games. Where are the games at? And who knows how long that's gonna happen, right? The next time I talk about
is gonna be interesting.
Interesting. If they fuck that up, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
last thing is I'm glad that people on PlayStation can finally click on 1440p resolutions, because there are people that play PC and they got a PlayStation and their monitor is 1440p, so they're stuck at 1080p until now. So that's good.
So that's good. So but apparently 1440p is owned by Microsoft. But now the next thing is it's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, right? Now I'm not talking about. I don't want this conversation to be based on the quality of the game, right? But I guess a performance test or whatever the game has done, and is running at 540p. You know, resolution's not that great. Lots of frame rate hits, running at under 30 frames and stuff like that and stuff. And now that's causing many people now. I think right now in 2022 we hit the apex where some of the hardcore gamers are tired of how weak the Switch is. I think it's gotten that point, right? With PS5 and Xbox showing better performance. You know, obviously they're better performance, but showing with the 60 frame performance, great graphics, ray tracing in some of the games, and yet Switch is stuck with hardware that's weaker than the PS4. The PS4 launched in 2013. This might be the first, like, the crack in the armor where people are now like, okay, it's been 4 years. We're about to hit 5. Like, Nintendo needs to do something. What do you think about that? You think we're start seeing the signs where people are like, okay, Nintendo, we're done with 540p 30 frame per second gaming. Like, get with the times. Like, people,
for sure,
people got phones that are now in 4K. You know what I'm saying? TVs. Is the crack happening now? We're more and more now starting to see, like, all right, we're got it. Best first party. You release bangers, but we're done with the 540p shit. You think that's starting to happen?
Yeah. So, like, here's the thing. I'm not gonna talk much. I'm not gonna talk on Xenoblade because I haven't really looked at it and I haven't played those games, so I'm not really going to speak on that. But when it comes to the console itself, I think that, I mean, I don't know, I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I think that Nintendo's known for doing a console and a portable. The portable is going to be way less powerful. They don't have to really focus on doing anything crazy with that. It's only on the Wii, with a Wii U, GameCube, whatever. No. Now they merged that, but their mentality, I feel like, stayed the same. When it's like they made a switch and their mentality is console mentality. So it's like, we're going to run this shit for a couple years and then come out with a new one. When in reality, people mostly use it, I feel like, as a handheld. So they should have more of like a phone mentality. Not release it every year, a new one, but like in 3-4 years, like it's already, there's a new one coming, and there's a new one coming 4 years after that, and then the 4 years after that. And slowly, the people that stuck with the old ones have to upgrade eventually, and they can just put the cartridge and just move forward, and they'll be fine. So I feel like the Nintendo's mentality with the Switch has been very PlayStation 3, PS4. Like let's let this go for 7 years or something like that. And then when it's like nearing the apex, let's make a Switch 2. But people are starting to see how mobile gaming on the phone, like, phones upgrade every year. They don't have to really do that. They've been complaining about it somewhat, about the resolution or the frame rate and whatnot, and how they want to switch Pro. And now the Steam Deck is sort of putting fire under their butt because the Steam Deck is way more powerful. And there's not all Nintendo gamers, but there's going to be some that are going to be like, I'm going to try this $300 Steam Deck because I know that I can emulate the Wii, the Switch games, and they run better even. Because I think Xenoblade 3 was being tested on the Steam Deck, and it ran flawless at 720p, 30 frames or something like that. So yeah, like I think that Nintendo... it just has that console mentality, and they have to switch it up and be more hybrid between mobile, like their DS, and then their console home hardware stuff. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to make somewhat AAA games with good quality on something that is mostly being used as a handheld that runs off a battery and has limited wattage usage because otherwise it'll blow up or drain the battery in 30 minutes.
Okay.
So
now here's what's crazy. The Steam Deck is $399, right? It's only $100 more than the base Switch, and only $50 more than the OLED, right? Well, if you want to compare it directly to the handheld, it's like $200 more. But here's the thing: the Switch is still $300. We'll use the base one, and that thing is 4 years old. Like, that thing is 4 goddamn years old, and it is still $300. And you got a Steam Deck with much better performance, much better visuals. I think it even has 120 hertz refresh screen, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that.
Let me look at the Steam Deck, because I think because it has 120 hertz refresh screen, Some games they could run it at 40 FPS. Steam Deck specs.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's 120. I think it's just that the panel is licensed or verified to do a bunch of other refresh rates, because their VR headset does the same thing. Their panels for the VR headset can go from I think it's 60 all the way to 144 and in between. So they paid for that license to be able to manipulate the panels that way.
So they could
and the Steam Deck. Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to be 120 or 120 is it?
Yeah.
No, because 120, half of 120 is 60, and half of 144 is 72. Yeah, so it'll have to be 80, capable of 80, but it doesn't really have to be. They just have to say, hey, I'm going to use this panel for this, and here's the money for that. And they're like, all right, you're good to go.
Okay. This thing also has, I guess, expansion. It has a USB-C display port, 1.4. So I think
you can technically dock it.
You could dock it, so the same thing. It also has an HDMI 2.0 port.
Yeah, like they're trying. They're
also a docking
trying
station,
to be
actually, sold separately. So it has a docking station. So it's the same shit as a Switch, right? But it has the power.
Yeah, they were like, the Switch is good. Let's copy that and make it PC friendly.
Yeah. So Nintendo could do this
pretty much.
Nintendo could create a similar product like the Switch 2. In my opinion, the Switch 2, they would be crazy if the Switch 2. If they even, I mean, granted, no one said there is going to be a Switch 2, but let's say if there is. Because I don't see Nintendo going back to just standard consoles. I think that's done. I think they're done with just a traditional deck console. I think they're going to stick with this. And if they do a Switch 2, it would be crazy if it's not similar to the Steam Deck, or at least a little bit better. That would be absolutely insane.
Here's what I think about that. I feel like they shouldn't do a Switch 2. They should do a Switch Pro. They should keep it on the same quote-unquote generation.
That's fine. Switch Pro.
But the chip on it is a lot better, and they should integrate things like DLSS, which should be capable of doing.
Yeah,
so just extend it even more, and these games that would run at 540p with the new chipset, they can hit 720p easily. And then if you put it on the TV, it'll do DLSS up to 4K, and it'll look amazing.
Well, here's a question: Pro or 2 does it really make a difference as long as it's backwards compatible? I think at that point, I don't think.
I agree, but also there's some people that are confused. Look at Xbox naming for their consoles. People get confused, bro.
But that's just stupid. Their name is stupid. I mean, 2 it makes it easy. This is the next new Switch, and as long as they advertise it's backwards compatible, meaning it's the same card, backwards compatible, then I mean Pro, Switch 2. Because if anything, let's say if I was in Nintendo, I probably will call the Switch 2 than a Pro. Because Pro makes it seem like it's just a minor upgrade, and some people might opt out of not getting it because they're like, it's just a Pro, I'm cool. But if you say Switch 2, that gives it like, okay, it's a new generation. And then they're gonna ask the same question: can I still play my Switch games? And once they say, yeah, your Switch game still works, you're good. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get the Switch 2. I'm good. So I mean, but what I'm saying is, if them shits is not up to this level, and I think some people are just. They're itching, because, and what don't help is a lot of people are saying, hey, what up, Yusuf? What's going on, my brother?
I'm good, man. I need to ask you a question, man.
All right, give me a minute.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
So I think, the thing is, the console came out in 2017. So me personally, I don't even count the Switch for this generation. To me, it's just an extension of what we were playing last gen. It's the fact that Nintendo messed up with the Wii U and now they decided to correct themselves towards the middle of the gen, I don't see the Switch as this generation's product. It is still active. It is still used. It is still sold. Hell, it's selling the most. And it's still getting games. But I'm not going to tie the Switch to what I expect from new products that launched in 2020. I see as two different things. I just see the Switch as a product from that. Yeah. Anomaly? Oh, really? I just see the Switch as a last-gen product that is still viable today. To me, it was no different than PlayStation 2. That shit was still viable in 2007. The PlayStation 3 launched in 2006. The Wii launched in 2006. The Xbox 360 launched in 2005. Guess what? The PlayStation 2 was still kicking. I was still playing Madden on the 2007 because that was the best version. God of War 2 came out in 2007. That shit was still popping.
That is crazy.
But I didn't. say PS2 is competing with the new generation of consoles simply because people were still buying it because it was down to $99 and the games were still kicking. I just see it as that the viability of that product just dove deep into the new generation and it is still a viable product. That's how I see the Switch. It is still a great product that just has a long life cycle and it still delivers great games. It's still going to be supported, but I'm not going to compare it to the Xbox or PS5. I'm just two different expectations. Like, if I'm going to compare Xenoblade Chronicles 3, then I'm going to compare it to Tales of Arise PS5. That shit's not going to hold a candle to it. It's just not. But it's not fair, though. In its own right, Switch does what it does, I think, and it does a great job for what it does. But I'm not going to compare with the current gen cycle. It's a totally different, in my opinion, for me, totally different standard. Shout out to Liquid Data. To Super Chat, he says, yo, what's good? What's up, Liquid Data? Everything's chilling. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. So you said, what you got?
Yeah. To add on to what you said about, people were still buying PlayStation 2s. You know what's funny about that? People were playing Star Wars Force Unleashed on the PS2 than the PS3.
You were playing what?
Oh, they were playing Star Wars Force Unleashed on PS2, then on PS3, and I was shocked about that.
Force Unleashed came out on 2?
Yeah, it came on PS2. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and also I want to ask you this: why is it that Xbox fanboys upset for? Like, talk to me about that. Man,
we already covered it. It's ultimately comes down to both consoles launched with pros and cons. In short, not to rehash the whole conversation, but both consoles launched with discrepancies and pros. Every console, pros and cons. PlayStation addressed many of the cons. Xbox hasn't addressed its cons yet, which was primarily games. PlayStation 5's cons was primarily quality of life features like VR, 1440p, low latency mode, fixing up the UI, improving it and stuff like that. It was mostly feature related stuff. It wasn't games because they were releasing games every year. They did a great job of that. But the features, the quality of life, PlayStation 5 had issues. On the flip side, Xbox was the opposite. It had all the quality of life, the VR, the low latency mode, 1440p support day one, Dolby Vision, all that stuff. Even Game Pass, was doing good, right? But when it came to the big bangers, Microsoft has issues. That was the con, and to this day, it is still the con. While PlayStation, you can't complain about VR. They already added it. You can't complain about low latency mode. And when the 1440p main update, because it's already in beta, when that comes out, that issue's gone. So Sony's addressing all those quality of life issues mark by mark. Now, there's still a few more, but it's mostly PlayStation-centric, like the folders. Some people want folders back, dynamic
I saw that.
background. So, they'll come in due time. But for the most part, the things that gamers want for their best gaming experience, VR, low latency mode, 1440p, because like Jay said, people are playing on their 1440p monitor, but they have to play in 1080p because it's not supported. So now they finally get that better visual, resolution. So he's addressing all that. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it was. I think they're just pissed off that a lot of the negative narratives are being scratched off, while Xbox's main negative narrative is still prevalent, and it's gonna still be prevalent for the rest of the year, and who knows how long into 2023.
Because I thought it was mainly because of the fact that they don't want that Sony doesn't want their games to be released day by day. Like, why is that y'all business?
No, that's a whole different conversation. So you're talking about the day and day with PC?
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, ultimately, I understand the conversation from the gamers. Some gamers just want to play on one platform, and I will say those that are it's two parts. So I'm gonna talk about the legit gamers. We'll talk about that one. The legit gamers are the PC gamers. They don't want to buy another console. So if there's potential to get Sony to do day and day on PC, that's advantageous to them because now their one platform that they do prefer to play on does everything. It has the Xbox games, has their PC games, the best version of multiplats. Sony day one, that's it. It's a wrap. Even I said, if Sony decides to go day and day on PC, PS5 will be my last console. PC moving forward, because I don't need another console. Why would I get another console? It doesn't make sense. I do it all on this one atmosphere, the way I want, and boom. So even I said that, that. So a lot of gamers, they're not being fanboys, but they're looking out for their own self-interest. Why would you buy another console if there's a chance to get everything on the one console that you have? You know what I'm saying? So that's also the legit PC gamers. I see their point of view. They're always gonna play on PC. If they could somehow convince Sony, hey, put these games they want on PC, they win. So you can't really blame those gamers from trying that tactic. You can't really blame them. You know, like the tactic of, no, even though I have a PC capable PS5 games or PlayStation games, nah, I want to pay another $500 for another. Nah. The reality is, if you could consolidate every game that you want on one platform, they're going to take that, right? The flip side is the Xbox fanboys, the Xbox content creators, influencers. They want PlayStation games to go day and day on PC, not because of this whole, not just idiots, but not because of the whole everyone plays. Nah. That's the biggest bullshit. They know that exclusives is a huge factor for a console. It is a huge selling point, and is a huge value on the console, right? Why you think Nintendo? If Nintendo said, "Hey, all our games are day and day on PC," Switch would be fucking dead. Not dead because you're still gonna be.
Why is that?
You're still gonna have people playing. But like, if they put their games on PC day and date, oh shit! Like,
if Nintendo said every game going forward will be on Steam, the Switch dies immediately. People are gonna buy the Steam Deck and play them on Steam Deck.
And that's what Sony's trying to prevent. Like, why would you want their first party games day by day on PC? I understand you want to have the experience to play these dope Sony games, but at the same time, though, those games comes with quality. Compared to what Microsoft had.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between Nintendo and right now. Nintendo has a really weak system, right? Sony has a PlayStation 5. So if someone that's on PC and they're like, I guess they're just kind of bored with the PC platform right now, and they're seeing all the good games on PlayStation, they're gonna buy a PlayStation 5 because they know they're gonna get 60 FPS minimum, 1440p minimum or higher on their games, at least first party games. So they're gonna play this and they're like, oh shit, like I have a Series X that I play sometimes, and I'm surprised and I'm glad that the games are hitting 60 and 4K sometimes, and I can play them smoothly like I would on my PC. So there's certain games that I just play on my TV rather than on my PC. If I had a PlayStation 5, which I don't right now, like, I would do the same thing. I would just buy the PlayStation games there because I like the ecosystem and I get the 4K 60s bare minimum. But on the Switch, it's like really low resolution that even something like a cheap laptop emulating the Yuzu emulator, which is a Switch emulator, can do better than what the Switch is doing right now. So that's why it would die immediately, unless they come out with a Switch 2 that's very powerful or a lot more powerful and has cool features. Okay. Then people will be like, nah, okay, you can put it on day and day on PC. I like my portable Switch 2. That's amazing. But right now, no.
Like, right now, the Steam Deck would run those Nintendo Switch games much better than what the Switch.
And that's emulated. And that's emulated.
Like, yeah. Now imagine a native port.
Yeah.
It would be a huge substantial difference. And like, the Switch is $300 to $350. The Steam Deck is $400. So you're not paying that much more, and the performance difference between the two is hugely. It's a big gap between the two.
On top of the fact that it's more open platform, you can emulate other consoles. You can play a bunch of PC games through Proton, so it has a lot more versatility than just playing Switch games.
Yeah. Okay, Porter, to add on to what you said on how, you know, there's like dope PC gamers where, okay, they don't want to spend $500 on a console because they just want these games to come straight on that one device. But would you say the same thing with these guys who don't want to buy a PC, who don't want to spend that much of money?
Well, here's the thing. So if Sony puts their games day and day on PC, it doesn't mean you have to buy a PC. It just means another platform they're supporting. You can still buy the PS. Like right now, Xbox and PC. People are still buying Xbox. Hell, people are buying Xbox Series S. They're not even buying the Xbox Series X, mostly because they're out of stock. Yeah. But you get to choose whichever one you want to buy. So just because it's available on PC doesn't mean you have to buy on PC. When I said I will go PC, it's just a conscious decision I'm willing to do. But there's still going to be people buying PlayStation consoles because it's a cheaper price. The performance is great for the price that you're getting. It's easier to put together. You know, there's a whole bunch of advantages of sticking with consoles. You know what I'm saying? So, so you really don't have to, like, just because the game went to PC. Now, if Sony were to say, hey, we're putting our games on PC and we're stop making consoles, now that's a problem.
Oh, and I think
now you have an issue.
That's what I think the fans want. But now,
the fans don't want that. The fans don't want.
I hope they don't.
No, the fans don't want Sony to stop making consoles. the PC guys just wants to just get their games on the platform they already own. Right? Now, a lot of PC gamers are willing to buy a console, but if you don't have to, you know, it's like Xbox Series X. Now they don't have to buy an Xbox console. If they want to, they still can, but they don't have to because the option to play the games is already available on the platform they already own. That's really what most of them, like the non-fanboy ones. That's all it is. If I don't have to buy a PS5 and I can still play PlayStation games, yes, they're gonna take that choice any day of the week. But they're not advocating for Sony to stop making. I mean, it's irrelevant. They don't really care if Sony makes consoles or not. That's not what they're advocating for. They're just advocating that if there's a way I could just stay on the platform I prefer, that's a better benefit for them.
Okay. How do you think it will impact them as a whole business?
Sony?
Yes.
I don't think as a business it will impact them in terms of money. Here you go. So Tevin Ruff, super chat. He says, "Nah, bro. Sony games go day one PC, and I'll never own another Sony console. This coming from a guy who doesn't game on PC. Sales will be down big time. I don't think it will.
Nobody on this panel said that. I game on PC. I'm a PC gamer. I never said that if games could come day and date on PC, PlayStation games, I would never buy a PlayStation. I never said that.
I said that, but I will play on PC. But as far as revenue, I don't think it will impact the business much. My only concern with the whole day one PC is the manpower and the quality, because now Sony is focusing on two platforms that they have to support day and date, and that's my concern. You know?
Not even, because PC is technically like unlimited amount of platforms because of all the configurations you can build a PC on.
Yeah, so I prefer this current strategy. Even if like the game goes 2 years later on PC, I prefer an environment where the Sony developers, first party, they just focus on the console and do the best they can. They don't have to worry about minimum, maximum specs on. They don't have to worry about none of that. They make the game, they take advantage of the console, they do the game to its fullest, and then when they're ready to port the game on PC, whatever the minimum spec of PC is needed, then oh well, that's what's needed. You know what I'm saying? And that, I'm cool with that type of environment.
Me too.
But the environment,
that's the best case scenario.
To me, that's the most proper environment, because the console gamers, they get the most best effort, what they get out of. And then when it's time to port the game on PC, it is what it is. This is the type of PC, minimum specs PC you need with the minimum, components to run this game. And that's it. That's how I see it. But when they're both day and date on the same platform, they're both going to balance out requirements. And I don't know how Sony's going to handle that. You see the issues Microsoft has. I just don't want to deal with it.
I want to say this right quick, Porter, and call me Jay. This may sound awful, but I feel like when that happens, there's going to be mad restriction when it comes to releasing these Sony games. And let me tell you one reason. PC modding. Why the first week of the Stray game that was released, it already modded to with the guy CJ from San Andreas. Like, it's like you taking away their hard work of making that product into your own craft. Like,
wait, are you saying you're against modding?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
Okay.
How does modding a game devalue it? That's
I understand you a PC gamer. Same, me too. But I don't
mod a lot. But I just want to know what your opinion is. How does modding a game devalue it? If anything, it adds more value. Do you think Skyrim would be as relevant as it is if modding wasn't a thing for it?
You said Skyrim?
Yeah. Fallout.
I never
The Witcher.
I never played Skyrim. I know those games.
Cyberpunk stayed as relevant until it got good now because of modding. Because modders fixed the game or added new things that they weren't in the game yet. And with your opinion about Stray, when I saw the mods, it made me want to buy the game because I haven't played it. I'm not really interested in the game. Yeah,
because of the modding.
Like if I can play the game and then put mods of something else, I saw Spyro the Dragon mod, dude. That's fucking cool.
Y'all just ruining the game.
So tell me, how does it devalue it? I'll stop cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Because okay, let's say when Ragnarok releases, right? Okay, let's say they just put Master Chief. Like, bro, I didn't spend $70 just to have someone mod this game for me. That's a no-go.
Okay, here's my counter to that, right? It's your choice. You have the option to be like, I'm just gonna go full native and not touch anything, right? But there are certain people that will probably do the first playthrough as native or vanilla, right, and enjoy it, but then see a modding little section on the main menu and be like, what's that? Oh, you can play as other people or have different weapons or something like that, you know? And
Okay,
when you want to do that, I feel like, okay, so seeing the Stray mod on Twitter for like a dog, you can play as a dog, or you can play as Spyro, or on the fighting game Sifu, you can play as fucking Batman, dude, like the new Batman.
Lord.
That looks sick.
Oh,
So I see that, and
wait,
I
hold
feel
up,
bad
hold
for
up,
also.
hold up,
okay, I hear your opinion and all. I
hold up,
respect
stop,
it.
Stop. Hold up. You say you can play as Batman in the PC Sifu?
Yes.
Oh shit.
There's a ton of mods, bro.
I need to get a PC, bro. That shit
there's
will be
Sasuke,
dope.
Naruto. Yeah,
You walk in that club as Batman?
Yep. And it's the new Batman. Someone modeled the new Batman for the new movie.
Oh shit.
And
then you put that background music?
Yep. I see that, and I feel bad for
just
console
ruining the
gamers.
original product.
I don't give a fuck, bro. This is Batman, though.
Listen,
you know how
dude,
dope that shit would be?
Listen, here's what I want you to do. I mean, not really, because you wouldn't be able to find it.
Bro.
I would want
also,
you to
Jay,
find
I wanted to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also wanted to say this, Jay, like how these artists were like pissed that their music was getting copyright or whatever it was on Fortnite. They weren't getting credit for it.
Wait, are you? What is this? Well, I'm confused.
So I'm comparing this argument with when Fortnite allowed these artists' music being played on their game, and then one of the artists got mad because they weren't getting enough money or whatever the conversation was.
That's different, though.
That's different.
But still, why?
No, I see your point, and I'm with you, bro. I'm with you about this Fortnite shit. But it's different because a game, you buy it once and you play it. Music, people don't really buy music no more. They stream it. So if people are not streaming it because they're listening it through something else that's free, then they're not making any money, right? When you see a mod, not you, but me, for example, when you see a mod for a game that you were mildly interested in, and you're like, oh, you can mod it, bro, that just elevated the chances of me buying that game even more. Because it gives me other ways of playing the game or experiencing the game. When they added the Spider-Man Raimi suit to Spider-Man PS4, I freaking played the game again with the movie music, and it gave me chills because I was like, "Yo!" I know it's not a mod, but they added the suit that I would have wanted in the game, and I put the music just like Porter Rock said with the Batman stuff. I sent you a DM, by the way, on Discord, Porter Rock.
I'm looking at the YouTube right now.
So my point is when I see, it's just an opinion. When I see those mods for these games that are also on console, I feel bad for console gamers because they should also have the privilege to be able to easily inject mods through like mod.io, which is like something that works on closed systems. To implement mods into their games, because there's certain people that would love to play as Batman, like Porter Rock. If Porter Rock could play Sifu with a Batman mod on PS5 through mod.io without having to spend however much on a PC, he would do it. But now because of this, his chances of buying a PC are increasingly higher. And there's also mods that fix the game. Maybe the game has a few issues, and it's not really high priority because developers want to focus on other stuff, and it's not really affecting a lot of people. But the mods, like for Bethesda game, it fixes a ton of stuff that otherwise would never get fixed.
I will say this.
So I see your point, and you're good on thinking that it devalues the game, but that's your personal opinion because there's people like me or like Prorac that see that and they're like, no, that adds value. And developers are like, that's cool. That gives us ideas to do even cooler shit because of what this one guy in his basement fucking did for their game. It brings in more sales.
I will say this though, because by the nature of mods on PC, it's actually really it's an individual.
You're cutting off.
It's an individual thing, right? So like for you users, you think it ruins the experience because it messes up the creative vision that the developer tries to push, right? So you yourself, you will never use those mods. So your experience in playing Sifu will not be ruined. So me playing as Batman, because I would most definitely do that mod, it's not going to impact your vision because you're not playing the game I'm playing. Me and you were both in two different places. You're in your house doing your thing, enjoying the game you want. I'm enjoying it the way I want. And I will say this. On PC, because of the nature of PC, the gamers have more freedom to do what they want with the content that they purchase. So that's like the reason why believe me, if these consoles had the ability to mod games easily, console gamers would do it too. They just can't because that's just not the nature of consoles. Unless the developers provide the tool sets like they did with Skyrim, right? I think Bethesda, they provided a few, and Fallout, they provided a few modding capabilities, you know? But unless the developers do it, but due to the closed nature of consoles, you can't do those mods. But I guarantee if you could, they would. In fact, I remember, was it PS3? When did Unreal 3 come out?
It was in the PS3 era.
That had mods. And I remember one mod, when you loaded up a room, it was literally Master Chief versus Samus. Team deathmatch. So, depending on which side you picked, you were either Master Chief, so it was the team full of Master Chiefs, the Spartans, and the other one was Samus. And whoever did that mod, that shit was dope. So you see the map of everybody playing Unreal 3, and you see Samus. Everybody, it was dope. The mod was dope.
There's a game,
and I was on PlayStation. I was like, oh shit, this mod is dope. I'm like, this mod is crazy. Master Chief versus Samus. Somebody who did that mod on PS3, that shit, they pulled it off. That shit was fun.
There's a game called Insurgency on PC. There's one on console, but I'm talking about the first one. That game has a ton of mods, and I found out a couple years ago when I used to 24/7 that game, that you could basically turn the whole game, just like the soldiers and the weapons, into Star Wars stuff. So you would have blasters and all this other stuff, and be a stormtrooper. So, and when you jump on the map, you're used to hearing loud explosions and gunfire from real weapons. Now you hear just blast, like a bunch of just Star Wars sounds, right? And it would just give you another way of playing the game, and it would be freaking dope.
All I'm going to say is this. I am not a fan of it, but I do respect the one that's enjoy it. But I know, for me, I'm not going to do it. I just want to play the game, enjoy it, enjoy the hard work that they put into making that product, and just call it a day.
That's good, man.
Yo, I'm sorry, man, but these developers need to make a Batman game, bro. This shit looks fire.
Well, you don't like Gotham Knights?
It just looks fucking different. Like, it just hits different right now. I'm looking at the mod. This shit hits different. Like, it feels like a whole new game, bro.
Yeah, they have Daredevil as well, like the red Daredevil. They have the one from the show with the thing on his face.
Oh, I see it on the side. Oh, that shit.
They have a ton.
Portal, whenever you get the chance.
Go ahead.
So even though this is not confirmed yet, but what was your take when, the rumors started to slightly become true that Square Enix may be acquired by Sony?
It might. I mean, some of the points, I think some of the points that are being mentioned, I think is just a convenience of, like the whole, they got rid of the Western studios to make it more cheaper. I'm just saying that it's possible that, Square Enix might be like, you know what, we're just going to merge and stuff like that. I could just see that happening. Me personally, I don't see it as a big deal. So, if people listen to my channel for a while, I don't really care about acquisitions that don't result in more games. I don't care about an acquisition that results in another platform not getting the games no more. I don't care about, Xbox, you're not going to get the games no more. I don't really care about that. That does not mean I get more games. Right? So, let's say if Sony bought Square Enix, okay, we still getting the Final Fantasies. We still getting Final Fantasy 7. We're still getting Final Fantasy 16. All these other games we always would have gotten. And almost any game that Square Enix would have made that is JRPG centric or Japanese centric, we still would have gotten. The only thing that changes is now the game, is not going on Xbox permanently, right? Okay, that doesn't make, that doesn't mean anything for me, right? What means something for me, and I always said this, is what studio can Sony, and I understand Sony's strategy of getting talent because they're focusing on multiplayer gas games. Okay, that's fine, I get that. But I'm saying if Sony were to get a studio, does it result in more games for the platform or just in gaming in general? For example, I was a big advocate for Konami, for Sony to get Konami. And I understand people saying all their games don't hit like that. I'm like, I know they don't hit like that because Konami's not making them. They didn't keep up with the IPs that they own and try to maintain that AAA, quality status. They just
same thing with Rare.
They just let it die off, right?
Yeah.
So if Sony would have gotten Konami, those rumors of Silent Hill, that shit would be a reality. Maybe it's still a reality. We don't know. That game's been flaky, right? But if Sony says, hey, we own Konami and all the IPs, we know we're going to get us. Because what other reason would you buy Konami for? For their pachinko machines? They got Silent Hill. Now you know that's coming, right? They got Castlevania. You best believe Castlevania's coming. I want you to ponder this. This might be the first gen in PlayStation console, the first generation of consoles, that we don't get a new Metal Gear game.
Yeah, I agree.
This might be the first time we end the gen without a Metal Gear game. PlayStation 1 had Metal Gear Solid. PlayStation 2 had Metal Gear Solid 2 and Snake Eater. PlayStation 3 had Guns of the Patriot. And PlayStation 4, while it was still a multi-plat, but still, we got Metal Gear Solid 5. We got a brand new Metal Gear Solid game every single generation. PlayStation 5, that's it. Snake, that's it. Chapter's done. It's not happening.
Well, is there a reason why you're saying that? Because the only games that Kojima is working on right now is possibly a sequel of Death Stranded and Silent Hill.
Well, one, he doesn't own Metal Gear. That belongs to Konami. And two, he left Konami. So he's not working with them. He does not have a good relationship with Konami. So he ain't touching them no more. That's why he created his own studio. So that relationship is done. So unless Sony buys Konami, that will probably be the only way Kojima would dare touch a Metal Gear if Sony owns it. Because Sony, they'll be like, hey, Kojima, you do what you want. You're not Konami. Even though we absorb Konami, they have no, they're going to do what they could do, right? But that's not happening. So this gen will be the first PlayStation 5 console gen where, hey, we're not getting a Metal Gear game. It's over. Unless it's a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 1 or something like that, which would be dope. I would love it. I would welcome it. But Metal Gear Solid 6, not happening. That nix it, right? Are we ever going to get a new 3D Castlevania? I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that is up in the air. So now Konami acquisition, that would benefit us gamers because Sony will take those IPs and put in the work to create new content for us. But a Square Enix acquisition, I think the only silver lining in that is many PlayStation gamers now won't have the fear of Microsoft buying them out. Because if Microsoft buys Square Enix, that relationship between Square Enix and PlayStation is done. Microsoft's cutting that off because they would buy them for a reason. That would be the reason for them to buy it, to strengthen up their JRPG portfolio. It wouldn't make sense to keep making the PlayStation versions. It would not make sense for Microsoft. So I would say that's probably the silver lining. If Sony does acquire Square Enix, a lot of Square Enix and PlayStation fans could be like, whew, now we don't have to worry about Microsoft. But that's about it.
Now, to add on to that, because I had an argument with this Xbot, and he was trying to tell me if Square Enix was to be acquired by Sony, then Microsoft will have to go acquire a bigger studio. Like, didn't they already acquire Activision? Like, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna have enough money to go get a bigger.
This is not a tit for tat. People, the community is making it a tit for tat because it sells content. It's great conversations and podcasts. It's great conversation for videos. It draws in, but there is no, oh, you buy this, or we're gonna buy this. Oh, you bought that, or we're gonna buy this. They're not having that. They're not doing that. They bought their studios based on their plans on what they want. Microsoft bought Bethesda and Activision to strengthen their Game Pass portfolio. It has nothing to do with PlayStation. Sony bought Bungie to strengthen their strategy, which is games as a service. So that's why they bought Bungie, because they needed that experience and they know how to do it right. So there is no, or if you bought this, we got to counter. There is no counter. There is no acquisition war. That's all made up because it's great content. It's great content to put on social media. But in reality, they're going with their own strategy on what they want in the direction they're going for. And that's just pretty much it. I don't think there's a content war. I don't think there's an acquisition war between the two. I don't think they're making a decision like that. I think their decision is deliberate. I think their decisions on who they're gonna buy was made a long time ago. We're just catching up to their thought process. Like the Bungie one, it wasn't thought immediately after, Microsoft Bethesda and they thought about that a long time. So I don't think there's an acquisition war as people are making out. I think that's just great conversation for content creation and just to fan the flames in the gaming community. But in reality, Microsoft and Sony has their strategy and they know who to get, who specifically to get, and it isn't to take a shot at the other, it's just to strengthen their own brand and their own vision in the way they want.
Man, it's just crazy what to see in the next 5 to 10 years, man, how gaming is going to be.
I think gaming will be fine.
Man.
I think it'll be fine.
xCloud the future.
Yeah, right. I don't think that cloud streaming, that shit for the birds. That shit for the birds. And I don't know if that will ever be, and maybe in 50 years, I don't know. But it's going to take a lot for that to replace native hardware, because native hardware gets so much advanced features that in order to replicate it on all cloud, you need a lot of bandwidth. Imagine trying to do, even ray tracing performance at 60 frames over the cloud, and still trying to maintain, the performance and the latency and stuff like that for smooth gaming performance. That shit's a lot, man. And then it's not even if you did have the service, right? How well is the quality of the service of your internet provider? And then how well is your router and modem? There's so many layers to having a bad game or a not so good. Like for example, when you do a console, it's really the console that's going to give you the performance, right? That's going to set the bar, the actual native hardware. But when you go with cloud gaming, it's so many factors. The location you live in, the actual service provider, and how they run and up-to-date their network, right? The degradation of the cable lines, the fiber and the coax cable lines. Then what router did you buy? What modem are you using? So there's so many layers that can interfere with the best possible thing. A console is just a console. But when you talk about cloud gaming, it's the back-end servers, your location, your internet service provider, the router you decided to buy, the modem that you have, and how the complex. Let's say you live in an apartment. When was the last time they updated their infrastructure in the complex?
Being in an apartment is rough if you're using Wi-Fi, because there's so many channels that are being used that they're all saturated.
Yeah, if you run on Wi-Fi,
shit.
Do you run on Wi-Fi? Like here in the apartment I'm living in, because the internal cables in the walls are so outdated, I had to get Time Warner or Spectrum, really they call now, to come out and run a completely new line. Now I asked the complex, but like, hey, they're gonna run a new line and they're gonna drill a hole in this. Am I allowed to do that? Because with the line you got on the wall is no good. And they gave me, I signed the waiver and they said, yeah, you could do it. So luckily I was able, now I could get up to a gig. But before, the line that they have embedded in the building, they never updated it for a while. So the walls can't do anything over 400 meg. So I think it capped out at 200 meg. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I see.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Because the cables are just too degraded. They couldn't do it.
Those things you mentioned could be perfectly fine, but if their servers are far away, then that's also more latency, because they're looking for the closest server to you. But if the closest server is really far away, you're gonna feel that latency too.
Yeah, so it's still a whole bunch of intricacies to that. So yeah, so that's why I don't think cloud. It'll be a long way before we even see, Now for the casuals that only want to play 1080p and they only want to play Fortnite, and it's the kids, 8-year-old kids not gonna know much about frame rate. They play Fortnite, they play a little bullshit game here and there. It might be fine for them. It won't be fine for us.
That's one of the reasons why the Series S is selling so well, because majority of people don't really give a shit about that stuff like we do.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, I tried a Series S and it's pretty good, but when I was actually gaming on it, I was like, nah, it's just too low for me. I need something higher. because I was just used to my PC.
Yeah, I'm not even an experiment. Like, if I was gonna get an Xbox, right? Let's say if I wanted to just completely stay on consoles, it would be the Series X. Ain't no way I would get a Series S. But I could see for a lot of people, they don't care about graphics. They're not spending a lot of money on games. A combination of Series S and Game Pass, I can see that being attractive for like the casual gamers that like to play games, but they don't want to be all in on everything. They just want a platform that's guaranteed to get all the new games this gen.
Hey, Porter.
Yeah, my brother's a casual. All he played on his PS4 was GTA and COD. Now he has those two plus all that shit on Game Pass because I have a subscription too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of dudes on PlayStation that only plays like Madden and the occasional maybe God of War and Grand Theft Auto. I know guys that didn't play a lot of, like, they call themselves, I mean, they're gamers, but they only play like 3 or 4 games. They don't really do a lot of anything else. And I play like,
Porter, I want to say this right quick, Porter. What? But this game that I just beat yesterday, which was a Plague Tales, I felt like that could have been a Last of Us for Xbox, but I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But that game was stupid fire.
But I think it's a third-party game though.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I feel like it could have been exclusive to Xbox though.
What up, P-Rock?
Okay.
That's a good point.
Oh, shit.
Trust the J.
Oh, shit.
What's
Havoc.
up?
Havoc's up in here, too.
What's going on?
And also, I wanted to question this, Porter. So you said how, bro, you capped for Bethesda games to be Xbox exclusives when the majority of console players. Yeah, can you explain that to me?
Oh, okay. Let me show. I know what you're talking about. It's when I was talking to Destin Nagari.
Yeah,
I think he deleted his tweet.
Yeah.
But,
oh, he did?
I think maybe. I don't know.
Goddamn Bex.
What's my was capping for Bethesda game?
You're right, Brian East. They should have dropped a bag for that.
So Destin Nagari, I guess he replied saying that to paraphrase, that, you know, Microsoft wants their games to be played everywhere. Sony's going that same direction, but it's the toxic fanboys that just don't like the movement, right? And I'm like, hold the fuck up. Like, bro, you made a whole video. This dude made a whole video arguing that Bethesda games, now that Microsoft bought Bethesda, it needs to be Xbox exclusive. It cannot continue to be on PlayStation. Now, with that, I'm not saying I disagree with him. I agree with his view, because that's what I understand. I understand that viewpoint. Okay?
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, stop with the bullshit. Pick a line. You either advocate playing everywhere or you don't. Don't do this weird shit where, man, Xbox needs to keep their games exclusive, keep it away from PlayStation because you paid so much money and it's advantageous. You want to grow the Xbox ecosystem, but then the next day, oh yeah, man, games gotta be everywhere. Everybody's got access.
Yeah, he's
to it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I seen that everywhere.
Because if that's the case,
they said the same thing with the Microsoft, Activision thing too. Call of Duty needs to be on Game Pass only so you can grow Game Pass subscribers.
Yep.
But yeah, I see a lot of Xbox dudes talking about a PlayStation era exclusivity bullshit. Like they the only ones who ever done it. Yeah. Like this, it's stupid. I don't.
Because if that's the case, then Halo should have been on PlayStation Nintendo a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Like, listen, the whole thing is this, right? You took games that were already being played everywhere.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was gonna be on your system regardless.
Yeah, like Starfield. It was going to be accessible to everybody. It was on PC, it was going to be on Xbox, and it was going to be on PlayStation. Now with the Bethesda purchase, you actually took it away from everybody. So you can't come and hype, oh, we're going to play games we need everybody to play, while everybody's not playing them. In fact, you actually got less people to play it now. Because traditionally, on consoles, since the PS4 generation, more gamers bought Bethesda games on PlayStation than they did on Xbox. Bethesda got, I think it was like 48% of their revenue came from PlayStation. So the majority of the gamers, at least on consoles, was from PlayStation. Now you took that away. Now I'm not arguing against saying...
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not saying that what they did is wrong. I understand that they're going to keep the games exclusive. I get it. It is what it is.
I doubt it.
But I'm not the one preaching, oh, everyone got to have access to everything. That doesn't make sense. Like, the game was already accessible to Call of Duty is already accessible to everyone.
Accessible
Nothing needs to
everything.
change. Nothing needs to change. It's already accessible everywhere. You ain't got to do anything. If you restrict the platform, then the whole mantra of play games everywhere is not a true mantra. It's not true.
But that's the thing too. If Microsoft is, I feel like if they're business smart, they should be smart. They are trimming down the company, right?
Yeah.
They should keep it on. They should keep it all on multi-plat, because if people buy the game on other platforms, their money is still going to them regardless.
So,
you know what I mean? Especially if it's
What multi-plat?
their own.
Yeah, which one are you talking about specifically?
I'm talking about like Call of Duty or something like that.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, because
it wouldn't make sense business wise. I see other people like Rich from VTech USA and all them try to say like, oh, that's not smart. I remember that whole.
And on top of that, Vanguard sold more on PlayStation than on Xbox.
So here's the thing.
I mean,
so let me do the super chat real quick. So shout out to Leo Jimmy. Thank you for super chat. Said, I only want Sony to buy Capcom. So many old IPs that could be remade or brought back. Capcom is the only fit. They already partnered with Square, so that's pointless. Marketing with Take-Two. I mean, Capcom. I seen that. I seen people want Capcom too. I seen that also.
Yeah, I wanted Capcom too, but they said it was too much money.
Yeah,
or the Xbox was saying it's too much money.
I seen that. I don't know if Xbox was going to buy Capcom. I think Japanese companies are a little bit more challenging to buy. But that's
they got more hurdles.
But I will say this. So your conversation about a company choosing multiplayer, whatever, it really comes down to the game. Some games are too big to be exclusive because they generate way too much revenue. Like Minecraft. There was no way that game was ever going to be exclusive. Like, keep it away from PlayStation because there's just way too many PlayStation gamers. I would not be surprised if Microsoft makes more money from Minecraft from PlayStation than their own console. I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised if Microsoft's like, wait a minute, PlayStation fan base, we get this much revenue from them. From our own Xbox fan base, we get this much. There's no way we could chop off this fan base. So some games are just too big. I think Call of Duty is one of those games. I think the revenue that PlayStation produces for Call of Duty to include add-on content and all that stuff is just way too big for Microsoft to make that call. Now, other games, though, I don't think
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I want to say, my fault.
So other games, though, remember, we can't treat Microsoft or Xbox different than PlayStation. We know exclusives attract people onto your platform. And once they're on your platform, they tend to do everything on there. They buy the multiplats, they buy the add-on content, they buy everything. But you have to draw them. You have to give them reason to say, okay, why should I play Call of Duty on, or why should I play, if Call of Duty is both on PlayStation and Xbox, what's the difference? Like, what's the fine line? Oh, we got these exclusives. We got Starfield. We got Redfall. We got this. While PlayStation got God of War and, Horizon. Then at that point, the game was going to be like, you know what? I prefer Bethesda games than Horizon Zero Dawn, so I'm going to get an Xbox. So I'm going to play the Bethesda games, and now I'm going to still play the multiplats like Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, Grand Theft Auto. But how do you get people to make that decision? You need exclusives. Because if you got multiplats and they're both on the same platform, that's even Steven. You can enjoy Madden on PlayStation just as much as Xbox. That's all the same. So there's got to be something that separates the two. And Exclusives does a good job of doing that. Exclusives does a good job of, you know what, I'm going to rock with this platform. And now all the multi-plat games, you're going to play on that platform. So,
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive. It's VRR, RDNA 2.0.
Oh, shit. Is, you know what I'm saying? That's the
low latency.
12 T-flaps or 9.2?
I want to bring this up real quick.
Yo,
I want to bring this up real quick.
in the chat right now. They're roasting the crap out of this guy.
I want to bring this up right quick. Porter, and I said this to you a while back. Now, they want to talk about this. Do you believe, where is it? Do you think, this is from the Game Awards account, do you think Stray is a potential Game of the Year candidate? And I've been saying
this guy got a whole list.
I've been saying Stray was going to be a Game of the Year contender. Nobody didn't want to listen to me.
All right. So I'm going to answer your question, but Stuart Stokes says, got any thoughts on Adam Sussel's latest comments? What was his latest comment, Stuart? Does anybody know?
Oh, no. Let me see.
No, I'm not even dragging
I'll
that.
look it up, I guess.
Yeah, look it up. I don't know. But now to answer your question, any game could be a Game of the Year contender because we had indies last year. Hell, wasn't It Takes Two the winner last year?
Yeah.
So It Takes Two actually
Game of
won.
the year.
That one
That
actual
one
game.
game.
That's an indie. So any game could be a Game of the Year. There's no like AAA, AA. I think with Game of the Year, it's going to be a level of impact, quality, obviously on its own terms, but I think impact is going to be a big deal. I think that's been, you can have a quality game, but if it's, what you would call it, that's why like Call of Duty, you don't see that on the Game of the Years. In the beginning you did when it first came out. When Modern Warfare first came out, that shit was like Game of the Year all over the place. But at a certain point, people are like, nah, son. Like, the impact's not there no more.
Everybody talking about Game of the Year, but I thought Elden Ring had it, man.
Oh no, Elden Ring is big time.
Elden Ring's huge too. Just
because if you look at it like this, Elden Rings didn't even need no microtransaction to impact their game.
Yeah, so I think impact's
and
gonna
they
be
sold
a big
13 million copies. 13 million copies. Come on now, it's big time Elden Ring.
So
yeah,
depends. Well, it depends. If you're talking about the Game of the Year award show, if we're only gonna talk about the award show, because that's just one opinion out of the many gaming awards. But I think everybody looks at that one because that's like the only one that has like a big spectacle that we get to see online or on TV, whatever. That could be a front runner. But again, there's gonna be levels of impact. But I do think Elden Ring is a front runner. Mm-hmm. Like if I was a betting man, I would bet on Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Also, it was one of the most anticipated games too.
It was like 2 years in a row. It was 2 years in a row. It was most anticipated. So Elden Ring is a good bet for Game of the Year at the award show.
I'm trying to look at Adam Sessler's Twitter. I'm not sure which one he was referring.
He said he was in an interview, right? And he got questioned about something, and he said the only reason why he supports Xbox more than PlayStation is because Xbox people are more mature. That's something like that. He said some dumb shit. Yeah.
Wow.
He basically said he has bias for Xbox because they're more mature than PlayStation or other people, I guess.
Sure.
So
just take the big L right there.
What metric is he using for that?
No, so to me, so the metric, I'm gonna be honest. Even let's say even if it's a true statement, let's say PlayStation is the most immature fan base. Period. Let's say that's true. Let's go with that. Let's go. PlayStation is the most immature fan base. Period. Ain't no fucking way my decision to support an entertainment product is gonna be based on random people on the internet. Because I bought an Xbox because man, you PlayStation guys are just toxic. What the fuck am I doing on Xbox? What am I doing?
Some people say that too. Nothing. They're like, "Oh, this community, bro, it makes me want to switch." Like, you don't even interact with them. You don't play with them.
PlayStation guys are trash. So I bought an Xbox. Now what am I doing? What games am I playing?
Yeah, how does a community?
What games? Hey, Xbox gamers, you guys are beautiful. I love you. You guys are fucking angels. What the fuck am I playing? When I'm in my house, none of yous are in my house. Like, the community is not in here with me. When I turn this off and I turn this podcast off, what am I doing on Xbox? Like, that's why I'm saying I don't even care what metric you use. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The community doesn't impact what you do on the console. Like, when I bought my PS5, ain't nobody in the community out there freezing. Well, I was freezing my ass off waiting for this goddamn console on launch.
Wait,
Rock. Wow.
Like,
P-Rock, you wasn't like, oh my god, these Xbox. Oh man, I can't stand them. Let me buy this PlayStation.
so even let's say I agree, yeah, PlayStation's the most immature. They always console warring. What the fuck that got to do with the product? You still ain't got no games.
Hold on. If they're immature, so why in the world when Sony announced that their games were gonna come on PC like Spider-Man, they start coming out of blue saying, "Oh, where's my day-by-date release?" Wouldn't you say that's immature?
I mean, I don't know. I would say this. Wasn't his co-host the one that said live on TV that Sony's dead man walking if they don't get their shit together?
In 2022,
that was on his own show. He let that happen. He let that shit happen on his own show at G4 TV. He just let her go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So the opinions on which fan base, whatever. My opinion, Microsoft, some of the Xbox toxic guys are the worst because they took it to the extreme. Sure, PlayStation guys, I seen some crazy shit. Even the doctor guy, that shit was wild. I was like, oh shit, this dude is wild, right? But I seen Xbox guys pull out guns live on podcasts.
Oh shit!
I'm not talking about random dudes that I don't know. Like I know the guys. I'm like, holy shit, this dude is live on the air threatening people. Yeah. And not just once, it was 3 fucking different Xbox guys doing it. I seen Xbox YouTubers get shut down by Microsoft themselves because they said black people should have remained slaves.
Yo,
300,000 subscribers. God,
like here, man. Yo, that's crazy.
I seen Xbox YouTubers, they lost court cases.
Yep.
Got sued $10,000 and more. Like, yo, I seen the place. That's not. I'm not saying I didn't see. I'm not saying I didn't see some of the weird shit, like Omegazio threatening, to shoot up. Like, I'm not saying I ignoring all that. I seen all that shit. Yo, but when you get the law involved, when you actually bring a weapon,
I got the link. I got the link for the video.
When you got
you got the link for the video.
When you got a $2 trillion company send their million paid dollar lawyers after you, like, yo, bro, like, this shit is wild. Like, yo, this shit is crazy. Motherfuckers is losing money in courts. They're breaking out weapons live on air.
Yo, P-Rock. Yo, remember this?
What you sent the
Hey, show me the video, man.
You sent the DM?
Yeah, on Discord.
Oh, it's on Discord. Let me see.
Yeah.
Remember P Reaper?
P Reaper peed on the console.
Yeah. I was telling some dude, I think it was one of the. You remember Fertenga? Yeah. He always about Sony guys now. Yo, I was telling I was mentioning some of this stuff in the comments, like the $10,000, $20,000 lawsuit. And the whole, I was telling them all about that. Like, stalking people in front of Target and all that stuff. And Best Buy.
Yo! Not gonna lie. Videos of people in Target recording people. Now, granted, it's a public place, right? So you don't have the right to privacy in America. But still, dudes recording live saying, yeah, that guy's gonna buy an Xbox in front of Best Buy. Like, what the fuck are you doing in your car? Recording something, like, bro, like, yo, I seen some weird shit, and I'm like, yo, like, I seen all, like, massive craziness, and it's just not like the random news. It's like, yo, Jesus Christ, bro, that shit is wild. Like, yo, so that's why, to me, between Microsoft going after YouTubers with their lawyers, shutting them down, court cases, judges saying you owe $10,000. And you got to pay up. Multiple dudes, for whatever reason, they thought it was a good idea to go on YouTube and break out the Glocks.
Yeah, the guns,
I'm sorry. And this is not like random. Like, I'm like, yo. Like, I'm blocking that dude. Like, I'm blocking these dudes. There's no way I'm associate with these dudes going on air. Because, yo, if shit pops off, I don't want people to be like, yo, Puerto Rock, wasn't you on a podcast with that dude? Nope. Son. Nah, don't know that dude. Don't know that.
There was another guy named
when I seen that, I'm like, yeah, this shit's too unhinged, bro. Like, woo. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. Look at Mac, man. Shout out to Mac. He said, Mac City, what? Nobody cares about 1440p, but ponies. Welcome to the party. You know, you ponies toxic. Wear it, own it. Who you guys and girls are. Hey, but here's the thing, though. When that 1440p drops, they're actually playing new games at 1440p. What new game you playing at 1440p in 2022? What AAA? Go ahead, Mac. Let me know.
Wait.
So what new first party AAA at 1440p? You got 1440p, but you ain't got no games to use it. Your shit is 0p, dog, at 0 frames. Mac out here at lock 0. Lock 0 frames, because that shit, when you put it on, nothing to display here. Now, shout out to Mac. That's my boy, man. He out there.
Y'all remember
He a good dude, man. Mac is a good dude. He always be out here clowning. Shout out to Mac, man.
By the way, I put the video link. Whoever was asking you on the shitpost area.
Oh, it's in the shitpost area. I don't even know my own.
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking for. I'm like, where he put it at?
Oh yeah,
it was.
You're talking about the okay.
Adam
the
Sandler.
Adam Sandler. All right. Let me. He was on. Oh, of course, I should have known. He was with David Jackson.
That's the one thing, and I think it's funny.
So now, hold on. I'm gonna play it for everybody.
That's the one thing, and
give me a second.
I just want to say something real quick. You remember the Ash villain or the Black?
Damn, he was another one. Dude had a whole shotgun.
Yeah.
Wait, what are y'all talking about? Wait, what?
There's a dude named Ash Villain. He was a Nintendo dude, but he converted to Xbox. And, he's talking shit, but I guess, because, I will say this. I will say this. When it comes to fanboys, in this console war, ain't nobody doing it better than a PlayStation dude. We got some of the best trolls in the community, period. And sometimes I can see people they're just tired of it. So Ash Villain? He just got tired of the shit talking, and that dude went live on our air with a shotgun, bro. Saying, my man was saying shit like he was about to go to Stables and make glue. I was like, oh my god, bro. Like, yo, this shit is
45
over a console war fight.
yo, son. Let me tell you, so hold on. Let me take this out. All right, I'm gonna put this so everybody can hear it. Everybody stay quiet real quick. So everybody, my screen is shared, I think. All right, and here we go. This is Adam Sessler.
that's the one thing, and I think it's funny.
Oh shit.
I really don't have a bias. I love Sony stuff, but if I ever show a bias, it's because Xbox buyers tend to act like adults. And that Sony people, it's like they're out there, like that Sony Defense Force that's out there.
Okay. So the Sony Defense Force, you know what I'm saying? I mean...
they're doing sign languages and shit. They were throwing his hand in the air.
I mean, that's on him. But there ain't no way I'm choosing a console based on the community. That shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
The number one reason for me will always be the games. Everything else will sort itself out. Whether it's tools, features, quality of life, community, all that shit will figure itself out. But the games, I need somebody to focus on the quality of the content, because that shit don't happen by accident. And that shit can't be copied. You cannot copy quality content. It has to be purposely designed, made with the intent of, making quality products. Like, you could copy 1440p, you could copy VR, you could copy all that bullshit. You could copy Resume Now. If Sony wanted to do it, they would do it. That's all technology. But you can't copy quality titles with quality first party. That's the priority for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. Ain't no way I'm going to be like, I'm going to buy a console because, the community is great. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'd rather not talk to any of y'all before I'm like, hell nah. I'll be by myself.
They be like Facebook posts where stop making multiplayer games. I don't like people.
You see what I'm saying? I would be like, I'll be here staring at the moon by myself. I don't give a damn. No way. I need quality content.
I'm going to put it like this, all right? The hobby is not the community. The hobby is gaming.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we need to look at first.
Yes.
The games, that's what we play.
Yes.
That's our hobby. That's what we spend our time with. Mm-hmm. Not the community is just the extras.
It's what's happened because of the content and stuff like that, right? It's an extension, but it's not the so what. Like, you could have the best community. I mean, shit. Let's say Xbox is the best community. Cool. Xbox community is the absolute best community. Where are the games? Like, what are we doing here? RDX, podcast. Hey, help me out here. There's no games, bro. What are we doing? Best community, but no games. Like, no, that can't happen. That can't happen. You understand what I'm saying?
It's weird.
I see. This shit's some funny shit. That was a funny one. My man, they brought a shout out to Stuart Stokes with that one. And all right, anybody mention something else? I think that's it, man.
Is there anything else? Oh.
That's it.
Oh, did you want to talk about GTA 6 real quick with the rumors?
All right, what happened with GTA 6?
Oh, the rumors that was coming out is that,
it's a female protagonist? I heard about that.
Was one of them. Yeah, I don't think that's the problem. What the problem I've heard was that they tone it down, like the feeling of GTA, where the jokes or the satire.
That's
going to
be interesting, because a lot of the satire, there's a lot of sensitive motherfuckers now.
It's weird.
It's interesting because there's certain things. Well, I guess small things that they changed in GTA 5 Like there's an area near the middle of the town where there's a garage, and right next to it there's like a club where certain people would go to, right? And I guess people got offended by that. Some people, and they removed that from the game.
Because those certain people have them clubs exist. So what?
Yeah,
so why
yeah.
would
So
you be offended by that?
I just don't want to say the word itself, but there's an action figure. Yeah, there's an action figure in the previous versions of GTA 5 that it said you could swap out the genitalias on the character and shit like that. Like it was just making fun of I don't know what, and it got changed too. So so some people are feeling that GTA 6 is gonna be quote unquote woke, right? Because they're toning down certain things. But if anybody played Red Dead Redemption 2, which is their latest game, those motherfuckers say slurs. They call you the worst shit. They do the most crazy shit in that game. So if they were toning it down, I don't know.
But Jay, you got to understand. They said they restructure everything inside Rockstar. Now they trying to be more inclusive and change things around. Basically.
Well, I can see that. I can see that from a perspective of the work environment. But at the end, but the games are art. So just like the creative vision, the jokes, the humor, that shouldn't directly reflect real life.
That you hire though, too.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people would get offended by, I don't know, people like your culture or something being made fun of. Personally, I would laugh the fuck out if in GTA 6 Rockstar started making fun of Puerto Ricans, like motherfuckers wearing the Puerto Rican flag with a cerveza.
Like Django Unchained. Man, they say the N-word. Like, I never seen Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, oh shit, this movie's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But Jamie Foxx didn't get pissed off.
Right?
That's because it's a creative professionalism with the way they act. They were playing certain roles on that era.
You like to laugh at Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah, like, listen, it's crazy. Like, who's that N-word on that man? I'm like, this movie's wild.
Yeah.
Like,
so
they're saying this word profusely,
that.
but I'm pretty sure the cast members didn't get pissed off at each other. They all, they all on a professional level, they understand what the art was trying to create. So the same thing with games. Like, whoever's in there, if they make fun of gay people, Puerto Ricans, like if I was a Puerto Rican developer and they're making fun of Puerto Ricans, but it's like part of the story, I'm not gonna be mad. This is the art.
I would want to add to it myself.
You know what I'm saying?
Be like, no, add this.
In fact, I'd be like,
that's
let me tell you the real jokes we Puerto Ricans have.
Yeah.
If you really want to crack jokes. You know what I'm saying? So that's all with the art, and and art could get uncomfortable, but it's still art. It's not like somebody's actually trying to make a point.
Yeah, right.
It's just all in good fun and whatever. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing too. You see, they're talking about not punching down and different stuff like that. I'm like, all right, if you don't want to, it's kind of hard to say this because like that's a person who remember I was 12 playing GTA 3 on. And I'm like, I used to love the craziness of the the NPCs, the shit they say. That shit be funny as hell.
Yeah.
The jokes they used to come up with. I used to listen to the talk radio. That shit used to be funny as hell.
What's crazy is movies don't go through this. Like, you will never hear this issue coming from movies.
Actually, I do.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, movies actually get they actually tuning up stuff and changing stuff around so they won't, how do I say, offend people. It's going across the whole it's actually been going across all of media in general, from the comic books themselves onto the comic book movies to the how do I say? It's more of a they start off with more sensible. No, they start off with more diversity, then they go to the more sensitive, not sensitive. What's the word? Sensibility additions. If you get what I mean. They're trying to make sure everybody feels represented, but then at the same time, they try to make sure nobody gets their feelings hurt.
They're trying to appease the people that go to comedy clubs and they get offended by what the comedian says, even though it's a fucking comedy club.
Yeah, they can't take jokes anymore.
So I'm gonna be honest. So like, there's certain things I don't find funny from comedians, but I don't go to comedy clubs. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you know there's certain things like if you feel like, to me, but I don't advocate for them not to make the jokes. I just mind my own business and stay home. So I'm not out there, you shouldn't be making these jokes. No, that's on me.
Yep.
I'm going to just stay my ass at home and mind my business. let the people enjoy what they enjoy. I just gonna chill here. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see
Twitter.
it.
It's mostly Twitter. The people.
I would say Twitter is fucking.
Yeah, Twitter is.
I would say that's the worst thing about Twitter, man.
They are fans of the product, and I don't even buy anything of the product. But they'll be the first ones to complain about that it's wrong.
Yeah, Twitter is the home of instant pain, like instant fucking like backlash.
Yeah,
like instant butthurt. Like people instantly get hurt on shit that they have no idea about. They're not even involved. Like motherfucker, you don't even live here.
I think I told you about this before.
I want to say this right quick. Microsoft says there is nothing unique about Activision Blizzard games.
What?
Yeah. Let me send it to you. Yeah, let me send that to you. Let me send that to you, Porter.
They said that to them about their own games now? What?
Something I want to say about fucking the GTA thing. Some are mad that we're getting apparently a female protagonist or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Personally,
yeah.
I am dying basically. I'm dying for Rockstar to do that because it's all men. Show me what you can do with a female Latina protagonist, bro.
Exactly,
man, that's just gonna be fun.
Can't pick them up no more.
That's just gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Can't pick up any ladies of the night.
That shit, man. Or you probably still
my
could.
God.
Well, technically, you still could.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, you can still good now. But
Porter,
hey,
did you get the link?
I think let's see where you put it at.
Twitter.
Twitter. Let me see.
It's just that mentality of like not thinking female protagonists aren't good. It's just it just bothers me because it's like
I don't think that's the problem. I think it's more like they think it's a first sign, but then they hear about the jokes, and then you hear about the jokes being taken out and dumped down, and then it all adds up.
I don't think that the things that were changed recently in GTA were jokes. It was more so those two things, which you know what I'm talking about. But GTA 6. I mean, but here's the thing about that too. Isn't this mostly just people like reporting on it? There's nothing factual about this.
Yeah,
it's just it's just Twitter being Twitter. Like they see a rumor and they think it's real. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the article is Microsoft has told New Zealand regulators that there is nothing unique about Activision Blizzard titles in its latest bid to get its pricey merger approved. In a document presented to the Business Acquisitions and Authorizations Commerce Commission, Microsoft says that the gaming giant doesn't produce any must-have titles and should therefore be permitted to go ahead with the acquisition. This claim is part of Microsoft's efforts to alleviate fear that its Activision Blizzard merger threatens the gaming industry, creating issues surrounding competition in the market. In doing this, Microsoft has said that its rival would get by just fine without Activision Blizzard titles and will still be able to compete in a vibrant gaming market. The vast majority of games are developed and published by parties other than Activision Blizzard, such as Sony, Nintendo, EA, Take-Two, reads the document, addressing concerns over monopolization of the industry. Specifically, with respect to Activision Blizzard video games, there is nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision Blizzard. Statements continue. There are no must-have for rival PC and console video game distributors that could rise to a foreclosure concern. This might sound like surprisingly harsh language coming from the tech giant that wants to buy the studio, but it is unlikely that is referring to the quality of Activision Blizzard. Rather, it seems to be a statement intended for regulators who may not understand the gaming market and therefore needs to be aware that Activision Blizzard doesn't have a monopoly on a particular genre. But hey, it's a pretty fun read regardless. I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
They're just trying to show that it's not a monopoly. Yeah.
It's for those that don't know about gaming. They're like, yeah, it's just a shooter. You know, there's other shooters on PlayStation. You know, it's not a big deal. Even though COD, you know.
Yeah. So I think the acquisition will go through, but I think ultimately they're just gonna look at the money and how much money is generated in the industry. That's really what it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, Activision Blizzard is not a monopoly, but they're just gonna look at it from a money perspective. Like how much monetary influence does Microsoft will own by owning Activision Blizzard? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think Call of Duty is one of those games that's just too big for Microsoft to keep to themselves.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially with add-on content in the multiplayer community. I don't think Microsoft wants to deal with, all right, we're gonna shut the huge fan base on the PlayStation side that's just overwhelmingly large, and then see how many of them will come over to Xbox.
That's a huge gamble.
Yeah, that's a huge gamble.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think they want to go through that.
I'm personally the thing that I'm looking forward to is Phil Spencer, when he talked about the acquisition a while ago, he mentioned like bringing back old dead games that Activision right now isn't focusing on because they're just not going to make any money, like Guitar Hero or Tony Hawk and shit like that. So like he wants to bring all these games back and give them to like smaller studios that they own. Be like, hey, make these games for Game Pass or whatever, you know?
Bro,
Like,
they can't even make the games that they do own.
Man, I was just looking at it.
They're having trouble.
Yeah.
They're having trouble
Yeah.
with the shit they do own.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring back shit.
Listen, I'm just a fan of Guitar Hero, so he
I
mentioned that.
I love DJ Hero and Guitar Hero. They were fun. Rock
Yeah,
Band, them games were fun. But if they can't even keep up with the current shit that they said, hey, these are the games we have in development now, and they can't even get that shit out.
God damn it.
What are the odds of shit that's in the archives from 10 years ago? Shit.
Hey, they came and bring my Voodoo Vince back.
I'm just trying to see how Voodoo Vince. I'm just trying to see Hellblade 2.
Or Halo.
Like fuck. Hellblade 2. That's all I'm asking. Can I see Hellblade 2 release already? That game is not supposed to be that big where we have to wait 5 years to make.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
It's a linear ass game.
Like shit, bro. Like god damn. Like
And they recently just pushed back Warhammer 40K Tide, Dark Tide.
No. Oh yeah, I saw that. That was like a
Listen, man,
they're supposed to release in September.
I just want my plastic guitar, to strum along and make loud noises in my room, bro. Bring it back, Phil.
But the caveat is you have to buy all new guitars. None of them will work.
Fuck it, dude. Fuck it. I'll buy that shit. Fuck it.
I will get a new DJ Hero. That was my shit. I don't know why.
Well, there's actually.
I even got it here on the PS3. I got it from my house.
There's a game on the Quest 2.
Back over here.
There's a game on the Quest 2 that it's like you use your hands because the Quest can track your fingers and shit, and you're playing guitar like Guitar Hero.
Oh wow,
that's fucking sick, dude.
That's the closest thing you're gonna get.
Yeah, for now, until Phil Spencer with his lies brings out Guitar Hero.
Listen, that shit's a 2028 topic. Right there. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait till 2028, my brother.
I gotta add this to P Rock's Hellblade point real quick. Yo, you seen that demo they had, right? Yeah. She just literally walked forward, then walked backwards.
She walked in the cave and walked right out the cave. Walked in the cave, threw some shit, walked the fuck right out, bro. And I mean, I can see the graphics, but she just like, all right, everybody, let's walk in, do some shit, let's walk right the fuck out. Like that, and that's the double.
That's the definition of linear, right?
Like, yo, like we in trouble, bro. I'm just trying to see Hellblade 2 out here.
When I saw that demo, I didn't really care about it because I played the first one. I know what they can do, right? So I'm more curious to see gameplay because the combat in the first game is all right, but it gets really repetitive near the end. I want to see how much more they can improve. Is she gonna have different weapons now or something like that? That's what I'm more curious about.
All right.
And about that ending, bro. That ending was fucking weird.
Yeah. They're gonna do the same linear game.
I don't care if it's linear.
Yo, with how long this game's taking, they should do a massive improvement.
It better be.
Like, goddamn. Like,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? There should be a lot of improvements to this game.
Because the first game was done on a budget. Yeah. It was done on a budget with a small studio, and it was done quick in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So this is taking a lot longer.
Yeah, and the only reason it took a while because they had to stop, work on other projects to gain money, and then go back to it. So they were going back and forth between. Yep. But now that they have a studio and they're under a publisher and they don't have to worry about making money. You know, they're fully supported. I don't understand why this game is taking so long.
Somebody might come for my ass for this, but
the funniest part.
Somebody might come for me later for saying that, but I smell
the funniest part about the first game was that when she's getting haunted by that guy with a deep voice and like it shows him, but he's just like a video with like a vintage in the background. Yeah. So it's not like a model. So everything looks amazing, and then that guy's like talking shit on the mic, and then he's just like a picture of him. Okay. That shit was funny.
Right. So interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna shut this down because I gotta get a haircut. It's over 4 o'clock. Gotta get ready for
but your hair's long.
But anyway, we're gonna do some parting shots. Uses.
Oh, he left.
Oh, he left? Oh, okay, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll go. So, Havoc?
Yo.
Any parting shots?
Hey, man, I'm just saying, my birthday was like a couple days ago.
Was it?
Yep, it was on the 29th.
A July baby. Happy belated, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Man. Yo, yesterday I think I went extra.
Oh, you got lit?
Yeah, extra lit.
Oh, shit, you did Frank the Tank?
Yeah.
That's it. My man went out streaking.
Yo, I almost did too.
He got fucked up. Oh man, happy birthday,
Sarah.
man! I hope you had a great weekend and shit like that, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Oh no, man, but bless, man. You leveled up one more year.
Oh man, I made it. I mean, I passed 30, so I'm
That's it. Oh, it doesn't get better now. That's it. Now we get diminishing returns. Now this is diminishing returns now. Man, but happy birthday, man. I hope you had a great time with your friends and your family, brother. Thank you for stopping through, man.
Of course, thank you. You're always having me. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Jay!
Yo.
What's up?
Thank you for having me. As always.
Yeah.
Not much, dude. You know, like, did the usual. I stream on Twitch. Call me Jay360 or call me Jay. I'm not sure. I forgot. But yeah. If any of you are interested in like random ass games, I'm playing like the Chronicles of Riddick. I'm going through that shit again. I play COD, play Battlefield, Need for Speed, shit like that. You can follow me on Twitch if you want.
All right.
That's about it.
Awesome. All right. Hey,
is it cool if I post a link in the chat?
Of course. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Post
yeah,
that
there
link.
you go.
Post that
That's the link
and click on it. There you go. Let me guess. Do you have 360 because of Xbox 360?
Yes, sir. Because I'm bad at names.
Bad at names. I said, fuck it. Call me Jay.
Bro, my first name ever was Nike Master, dude. And my dad was like, what the fuck?
Master,
Who
dude?
raised you? Nike Master, bro.
Nike.
He was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
That's some weird ass name.
Yo, one thing too, I got me a new mic, so I might start doing some videos or something.
Oh, Havoc's gonna be up in here.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
listen,
my
man.
brother came through with the new
He bought
mic.
himself $1,000 mic
Listen.
and he's gonna make one video a month.
Yo, Havoc. It feels really good. It feels really good, Havoc, when you go from something like this to something like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But Havoc got a premium mic and he's only gonna use it like once a month.
Yeah.
If that. I'm gonna try to learn the stream.
Oh shit, man. All right, man. But appreciate it, brothers. Thank you for rocking out this Sunday. To everybody in the chat, thank you, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Of course, it's your only friend, these YouTube streets, Puerto77. Come check me out this Tuesday, 60 Frames No Lag podcast. We're gonna do it big. And Gabe, my hair is within regs. Well, maybe not right now, but that's what the haircut is for. All right, so cut it out, Gabe. All right. Anyway, you guys take care. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Keep it gaming, and we do what we do. I'll see you guys later, man. Thank you for rocking out. Peace.
Enjoy 1440p. Yes.
That's it. Enjoy that 1440p games. Except for you, Mac. You ain't got no games. Your shit's at 0000p.
Take another L, Matt.
Shout out. Peace.